Welcome everyone to Saturday Evening Chess. This is episode 121, and tonight we have with us Mr. Rob D, the New York Outcast.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for having me. Thanks for joining us.
And thank you for joining us. So
Here's
first,
the bill.
first in G-Webs, 500 Magnum, 2A We Stand, Michael Hurtneck, and Georgia Trapping and Fishing, Mr. Craig. Welcome.
In a world of uncertainty and turmoil, one man stands alone, along with his faithful sidekick. A man who entertains and educates the masses weekly, 70% of the time. Born out of the dusty plains of Washington State, now from the coastal forests of Oregon. The man, the myth, the man. G23.
So, one of the businesses here pretty locally, they always put out like little comments on one of those like reader boards. A lot of times they're dad jokes, stuff like that. And so yesterday, or maybe the day before, they changed the sign, and it says the three things you should never discuss: politics, religion, and the Great Pumpkin. And I looked at the wife and I'm like, why don't you talk about the Great Pumpkin? I don't get it. And the wife looked at me like I am a fucking moron because I don't know what the Great Pumpkin is.
I might be a moron too, but don't tell her.
See, woman, I'm not the only one who doesn't know what the Great Pumpkin is.
Is it Charlie Brown?
I guess so. Something to do.
See, my lady knew, but I didn't know.
Charlie Brown. It's just like the Halloween.
So his woman knew what the Great Pumpkin was, and Rob and I are like, ugh, what do we know? We're dudes. We don't understand that crap.
No idea.
Yeah.
It's cool that they have a sign up and do jokes and stuff, though. So I've seen some places like that. They got some funny stuff. So I think that's always, it's memorable. I guess, especially if it's a common thing. So you're looking for it.
Yeah. And, what was it? A couple of years ago, it was around Father's Day. They put out their something about get your father the president he always wanted, rent him a hoe, because they're a rental place.
That's funny.
That one didn't stay up so long because I'm pretty sure some Karen went in there, screaming, and they're like, hey, we're talking about a backhoe. We're not.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious, and I was going to take a picture of it. And by the time I went back to go take a picture of it, it was gone. It was up like 24 hours.
Yeah, you figure something like that, might hit the news as a joke type thing, the local news, and, kind of people get a laugh, and then they're also, possibly now aware of this facility or shop being there. So, I don't know. I guess everything can always be taken wrong, but and there's probably a limit. You want to be cautious with people driving by with their kids. Hey, mommy, what's this? Or got to be somewhat cautious, but but that's technically a legitimate tool. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was funny because I was like, dude, that's pretty fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and then you just tell your kid, get your head out the gutter, and they're like, oh.
You know, so we've had a few more people come in. We've got Reloading from the Hot Pot, Buck Tactical Fud, CNT Designs, What's Up Coop, Drucifer, Warsaw Patriot, Mike White. So we're Mrs. Hotshot, Reloading from the Hot Pot. So yeah, so we've got quite a few more people popping in there. I probably missed somebody, but I am sorry if I skipped over you. But yeah, so I was hoping we had some people show up that maybe knew what the Great Pumpkin was and why we shouldn't discuss it. But you and I don't know what it is, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe the chat knows about it. I don't know. I can't see the chat, so I can't state. But yeah, I don't know. I was never a huge Charlie Brown fan myself, so maybe that's a sin in some way to some people. But yeah, sorry.
So Mrs. Hotshot is calling us out. She says that she hasn't seen either one of us comment on her 100 subscriber giveaway, and it's a short video, not a actual like long video. So you have to go to the short section on their page. So
My apologies.
yeah, that's the one thing with like YouTube. They don't really notify people when you put out shorts. And so unless you go looking, you may not even know it unless somebody brings it to your attention. So I will comment on that video.
I'll just tell you the truth. I've been busy most of this week, so I haven't been watching many videos or making many comments. So, but yeah, my apologies. I seen she had a video up, something about she screwed up. I don't know what that was, but didn't get to check it out. And another one with a bunch of like Halloween costume thing going on, some glasses and stuff. So, and I thumbs up that post. I don't know, but
Yeah,
I'm not going to blame it on YouTube or the algorithms.
well, I'm not really. Just the shorts. Like if you do a short video, when you do hashtag shorts, they don't always like push that out to the people that are subscribed to you and have notifications turned on. So
yeah. Well, do you do them on PC or phone?
I do them on phone.
Okay, because phone, it seems like if I do a short, it's instantaneous up as a short. So PC, it's slower. It goes up like a video, and then maybe it goes to a short. So
now I still run all my videos through my video editor, even if I don't edit them, and I hardly ever edit a video, because when I run it through the video editor, it compresses the video and makes it a little less bulky on my phone. So, and then, yeah, I've been doing a lot of studying, trying to get my CDL. Yesterday, I went and took about 50% of the CDL tests that I have to take, and I passed every one of them. And I took, I guess, according to the company that I'm going to be going to work for, I chose all the hardest ones to take first, and then I'll have the easier ones left. So we'll see.
Cool. And physical part of it's no problem.
Yeah, the physical I have to go take a DOT physical Wednesday.
'Cause I know they're pretty. From what I hear, they're pretty picky. So, I guess blood pressure, all that type of stuff. So, somebody I know's dad drove truck for a long time, and I forgot what exactly happened to them. I think they had a slight stroke or something like that, and they were like done. Like, even though they were fine, you'd never know. Like, they're like better than a person without a stroke, or compared to some people, but you'd never know. But that was it. Certain things like that, and if you got bad blood pressure, they watch all that. I guess it's pretty they stay on top of you, so hopefully it goes good.
Yeah, and then the hazmat, you have to take the written test, pass that, and then after that, they turn in all the paperwork to the federal government for them to go through and do a background check on you to be even able to have a hazmat endorsement.
So are you going through one of these training programs or something like that offered by a school or by a company or?
So I'm going to actually go to driving school bus. And yeah, they do they pay for the
School bus?
Yeah.
Dude, you're gonna be in jail in like a week. You're gonna smack the shit out of somebody's kid.
Oh, but yeah.
Well, I give it to you, man. I couldn't have that job. I'd get arrested probably, because that little kid that's that bad. Their parents are even worse. So when they show up, it's going to be a brawl.
Yeah, we'll see.
I wish you luck. Crazy. Didn't you see The Simpsons? Damn.
They're paying for the CDL and all the training and stuff. So it's another
cool. They're always hiring, from what I hear, like bus drivers all over the place. So I don't know why they're always hiring. Maybe that's a sign. I don't know, but they always seem to be hiring, looking for monitors and stuff.
So reloading from the hot pot says that's a Class B license, I believe. So it all depends on your state, and then depending upon the size of vehicle you're going to be driving. So it could be a Class C, a Class B, or a Class A. And I'm actually going after the Class A, because then if I decide down the road that I want to go into like long haul driving or driving semi, the only thing I would have left to do would be taking the like doubles and tandem test.
What you need to do is like move dynamite or something. Move something, that
No.
I forgot what the heck it was called. These guys are like crazy, all jacked up, man. but like I can't, dang, I can't remember, but yeah. But it's
So
one of them things like you get in an accident, like you're blowing the hell up, probably.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I can't remember. There's a whole term for them,
It's
but yeah, you get paid though, or if you move stuff like heavy, the more axles out there, the more
yeah.
money you get. You're gone longer. Take you like 2 weeks to get across the damn country, but yeah, I mean you're getting paid. So there's some work in that, depending on what you do, or some money.
So yeah, tankers are a whole different ball game. I don't think I would ever want to get into driving tankers. And that's where you're going to get a lot more of your hazmat, your dry explosives and stuff like that are going to be running more in your tanker trucks and stuff. No way.
It's got to be different, I assume, with a bunch of weight that moves around, anything liquid like that, or, in those containers, like even a milk truck or something. It's got to be a big difference from being full to, half full, you know what I mean, and how the vehicle handles. So,
well, that
yeah.
Your weight is going to keep transferring. So
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah. So I mean, if there's room for it to move around, then it's your weight's going to keep bouncing around, kind of. Especially if you get where you're like half a tank. I don't know if they're set up with bladders or height divisions or whatever, but somebody pulls in front of you and they're a little shit box, and then wants to hit the brakes, like you can hit. Yeah, you're just not stopping on a dime and something like that. So. It's going to be a mess.
Yes. If somebody in their little Honda Accord decides to cut you off, sorry for that Honda Accord. It's going to go under your tires.
Well, I think it should be legal, honestly. Like, because you see it all the time with these things where they brake check the truck drivers. And, personally, if you want to be that stupid, then fine, you pay for the damage. Like, we should be able to, they should be able to send you the bill or whatever. Personally, I don't know, because that's just foolish. It's different if you're stopping for a kid or a ball or something actually came out in the road, but just to come over, speed up to come over to jack on your brakes, now you're just being an asshole. So if there's an accident, you should pay asshole fees.
Yep. Actually, there are federal laws that will where truckers can actually bill you for the damage to their load if they can prove that you were responsible for the damage.
That's good. I hope so. I know my state, the way they got it set up here, like, it don't matter how it is. It's got to be on camera with witnesses, or the person's got to admit it. But if you hit somebody in the rear, you're at fault. So basically, they can back up down the highway ramp, get on the highway in reverse, and if you hit them, it's your fault. You know what I mean? That's basically how it is. Yeah. Like, it's a big scam, because you'll drive down the street and somebody who just totaled their car last night and doesn't want to pay for it will just back the hell out in front of you and try to claim you damaged their whole damn car. Like, you got to watch that shit. Like, it's bad.
Oh yeah. Yep. And that's why a lot more of your semis these days have dash cams.
I recommend it. So, a lady tried to get me once, so I don't think it was intentional, but she got pissy during what was going on, I guess, cutting over 3 lanes, riding me on the shoulder, and then flipping me off and locking her brakes up. But thankfully, she admitted to cutting me off, and that was the only reason why I didn't get ticketed for it, with a full load on my truck and stuff. I was pissed. And then we ended up having the same insurance company, so in the end, I still got screwed. Bastard.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't matter if it's your fault or not your fault. Once you make an insurance claim, your insurance is going to get jacked up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Your insurance is going to go from $35 to $135. You know.
Bullshit. And of course, it wasn't her car. She was borrowing the car. She was from somewhere else. So how you figure that? You know what I mean? So she, you know, that bitch got out of it free and clear. So. Asshole.
See, that's
that
like
was a crazy experience. I was like, I'm gonna fight this. Cop started reaching for his gun, like, oh, you want to fight? Like the lady was yelling, like, calm down, calm. It got crazy. I'm like, no, I'm just saying, like, you know, skid marks all over there. I was like, yo.
So we heard do my job.
It was bad.
So, yeah, well, if you have like accident forgiveness, yeah, you probably aren't going to get, but they'll find, you know, it really depends upon the insurance company you have.
Yeah, your company and the state laws, because here they'll pull that no fault crap too, and then you're both stuck with your own stuff. So it doesn't matter. They blew the stop sign and T-bone, you're stuck with your payment. They're stuck with theirs. So in some cases, so it's pretty crazy. So there's a big difference in insurance. So you should definitely look into it. And then the scary part is a lot of people drive around with no damn insurance. So and I'm not. If I had a choice, I wouldn't have insurance because I think overall it's a scam. I think, if I do crash into somebody, they could sue me and, you know, we could pay for it or whatever the case is, you know. But, you know, to constantly pay for something that 98% of the time you don't use. Like, I've never in my life filed an insurance claim. And I've owned several vehicles. Some of them have been hit, but I've never filed a claim.
So I have uninsured, underinsured motorist on my, so if they don't have insurance, my vehicle is still getting covered. It's going to jack my insurance up, but I'm still going to get covered. And then like what you were describing, what happened to you, if you were in Washington State, and there might be other states that do this too. If somebody's borrowing somebody else's car, so like say you let your daughter drive your car, she gets into a car accident, in Washington, they can sue your daughter, your daughter's insurance, your insurance, and then if you're married, they can sue your wife and your wife's insurance. And if you have a loan on the car, they can then sue the bank.
Damn.
All separately for the same accident.
Yeah, that's a lot of lawsuits. Well, I'm just thinking if I was the other person that loaned the girl the car and then she goes cutting some dude off with a truck like that's loaded with wood on top and all this shit, and then turns out being an asshole about it and wants to jam up the brakes in the car I loaned her, I'm going to be pissed if it turns out I got the same insurance company as this guy and both our bills are going to go up now. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell are you doing? I didn't loan you a car to raise my damn bill. Like, that should go on her. You know what I mean? Not me for being nice and loaning my sister or whatever my vehicle. You know, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yep. So that's why before you go loaning a vehicle to anyone, you should probably check out what your state laws are, because you could be held liable for something that somebody else does in your vehicle. And like a lot of states that have those red light cameras, they have it where they can cite the driver or they can cite the vehicle owner or both. I mean,
that'd be so typical too that you help somebody out, loan them and get an extra vehicle because theirs broke down for the week, and then they double park, they skip all the tolls, park in handicap spots and then drop the car back off. And a month later, you get like a $2,000 bill. Like, dude, don't let me find you.
Yeah, so Moo Butts is out there. Welcome. Yeah. And Gene had brought up another point, not only with tankers is that a problem, but then you can get into the double and triple tankers. So now you've got 2 to 3 times that weight transferring at different points. So you're at a higher likelihood of rolling.
Yeah. Oh, those I don't see often. I don't know where, like traveling across the country, I've seen doubles, but I don't even recall seeing like triples. Maybe, but it wasn't something you see often, in my opinion. So might have seen it a couple times, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be a real common thing if that's what your employer does. So I'm just saying the odds of getting to do that, probably aren't great. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not a truck driver. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're dying for people to do that. So I don't know.
Well, if you've got doubles and triple endorsements, and you got tanker endorsements, and you got hazmat endorsements, you're going to make a lot more money than the guy who only has a double or triple endorsement.
Well, I don't know, because I got my information from a guy who drove truck in a sense. More recently that basically the more axles, the more money you make is how it usually breaks out. Whether you're working for private, a big company, or whatever, that's normally how it works out. So.
Yeah, and then depending on what you're hauling, you make more money depending upon what you're hauling also. If you're just hauling like liquids, like just hauling milk or something that's what they consider corrosive, non-flammable, you're going to make less than the guy who's hauling gasoline,
Well, I'm going to tell you, man, you become a bus driver, you watch out for Rick. You see him in your mirror, you can expect him probably not to stop. So be careful.
Well, so in Oregon, and I think California does it the same also, if somebody looks like they want to cross the street, your ass better stop, because you will be fined heavily.
That's funny.
And the cops around here, they like to do those pedestrian crossing stings, and so they'll have undercover cops like walk across the street in crosswalks.
Well, there's they got around here like, I don't know, like 2 crosswalks like that. They threw up in the middle of like the craziest place, and like didn't tell anybody about it. And then it was all over the TV, people getting pulled over because people were just driving right by. Like there's flashing lights and stuff, but it doesn't say like stop. It's just a flashing light on the side of the road. Like people walk around with flashing lights on every damn thing. Like, no, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It was weird. I guess, as a driver, you should notice it, but they did that in like one area, but everywhere else, like, you're playing with fire. You want to jump out, like somebody's gonna run your ass over. Don't just assume somebody's gonna stop. That's a great way to get your ass ran over. Like, now, especially with cell phones and shit, people screwing with their phones, this and that. Like, you take it for granted. You're gambling with your life.
Yeah, it's crazy out here. There, a lot of the cities around here, they do a lot of those pedestrian scams.
Well, it's probably a revenue thing, and so and I'm sure it's probably in areas where people get hit commonly, and maybe people should slow down and pay more attention. But I don't know. I've seen it where it's almost caused accidents. There's one town I work in where it's like that, where people even look like they want to cross, and people are jacking on the brakes and just waving them, and they're like, "Oh, I'm just walking to my car," and then they're like, "Oh, well, have a good day, sweetheart." Then they slowly want to let off the brake, and and like it's backed up like a mile. You know what I mean? And then somebody else will come out and they're jacking on the brakes, and it's like I'm thinking, how does anybody get any work done in this town? Like we bypass the town now on a back road because it's just way quicker. It honestly is.
Yep.
Yeah, like that stuff that drives me nuts. I don't understand. Like if they're actually at the crosswalk and trying to cross, I could understand maybe, but when people are just walking down the street, what the hell are you stopping for? Are you trying to pick up a hooker or something? Like what? It's just weird, man. But some of that, like, oh wait, oh you want to go? Like, I don't understand it. But
yeah, the only time they do it is at crosswalks.
yeah.
Because otherwise you could be like, hey, one, it's entrapment. Two, it's you're illegally crossing the road and jaywalking. So
they're harassing kids or people driving up like, oh hey, you going across? Like, I don't know. It would be weird. It is weird.
Yep.
I'm one of them people that I feel if you're entitled and feel like you're special and I run your ass over, I shouldn't be in trouble. I'm fine with that. Unless it comes to kids or seniors that might just be deaf and then can turn their head around or something. Yeah, I mean, I'd give a pass. But if you're young and just stupid, you play in traffic, you should get ran over. You want to, be up on the highway, jumping in front of cars. Don't be mad when somebody hits your ass. That's my take on it. I know that's not probably legal, but you want to be a smart ass. Don't some of us don't mind playing the game. So and I shouldn't say anything. I'm just saying. Yeah, I've already said too much. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to the old saying, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. If you want to play Frogger, you got to remember what the rules of Frogger are.
When I go to the corner, I take walks, I ride a bike, all this type of stuff. But, I don't just assume everybody sees me and you're going to stop when I feel like swerving in front of you. I don't do that. So. And if I do got to cross a crosswalk, I don't stare at you and take my sweet ass time and smile and giggle. I just walk my ass across the street,
I tell you one thing. If you are crossing the street in front of me and you start smiling and giggling, I'm running your fucking ass over.
Dude, it happens. Like start slow rolling. Like I can't even tell the rest of this story, but
I know what you're saying.
Let me tell you something. They hurried their ass up.
Now there's a whole difference because so like I lived in Washington and they always say pedestrian has the right of way and stuff. Oregon, same thing. When I was in South Carolina, oh hell no. The pedestrians don't have a right of way, and I swear they will give you the funniest look if you're like in a parking lot and they come out of the store and you stop and you motion for them to walk in front of you because there's a crosswalk and stuff. They're like, hell no, I ain't playing this game. You're going to wait for me to get out here, and then you're going to run my ass over.
What is this, a setup?
I mean, exactly. This is exactly. You can see, they've written across their face. And then, if they go to cross a road, it's like every single one of them's trying to be the next Michael Phelps or whatever, 100-yard dash, trying to, sprint across. they'll sprint across that road trying to like get across there in like sub 1 second.
That's funny. Yeah, sometimes I jog a little, get out of the way just to, so it doesn't really mess with the flow of traffic in certain areas. But I don't know. I try not to be an idiot out there because, that's, I don't know. Don't take it for granted, It's the common courtesy stuff. So,
yeah. So,
like wintertime, stuff like that, raining out. Like, oh, God, man. One day I left for work, came home on lunch, and I left. And the lady she was staying here at the house, right? So I drive up. I'm about to turn at the end of my street, and it's raining out, and there's this girl walking. So I just like wave her on, like go ahead. This chick jumped up in my truck, man. I think she was a prostitute. She thought I was waving her. I was like, yo, you got to get your ass out. Like, looking over my stuff. You about to get a bull shot. She's like, well, where are you going? I'm like, it don't freaking matter. Oh, it was a panic attack, man. So I had to dump her ass right back out in the rain on the corner. Like, it don't matter which way I'm going. Your ass is getting out. Like, no. Like, that was crazy, man. Like, you never know with people. But I try to, wave people on in the rain, like in the snow and shit like that. I feel bad some of these people out there walking around and shit. They carrying their groceries in a paper bags about to fall apart. I got a heater and shit. I can wait a second. But, it's those entitled assholes I just don't like.
oh, I was explaining to the wife what you were saying. So,
Thinks I'm a bad guy, doesn't she?
no, she was laughing, and she said that you were hoping it was a prostitute.
No, man, no. I was like starting to sweat bullets. Like, that don't look right. I got kids at my house, all this stuff. Like, I don't need some chick hopping in my car, truck like that. My neighbors out there might be watching. Like, oh hell no, this don't look right. Like, seriously, This girl has a bad dream. She wakes up, stares at me half the night until I get some phobia, and I wake up and she's just staring, grilling at me. So the last thing I need is some girl hopping in my truck.
So Miss Vanessa Key says, what color vehicle do you drive? I have driven vehicles of multiple different colors. So when I was in South Carolina, I had a red Nissan 300ZX Turbo, and then we bought a Nissan Sentra. What color was that car, woman? It was an they called it amethyst, but it had depending on where you were standing and how the light was hitting it, either looked like a dark gray or a brown, and if you got it at the very right angle, you could kind of see the purple flakes in it. It's kind of weird. I liked that car. But now I drive a white Nissan Rogue with tinted out windows. I mean, tinted out fucking windows. Oops. Vanessa Kitty said the reason why she asked was because both vehicles that hit her were white. I've had a lot of white vehicles.
That's funny. We've had issues with Buicks. The lady's been hit 3 times by somebody driving a Buick. They're always old people that don't look and just throw it in reverse, hit the gas, or run into you at a red light. It's always the craziest stuff, and it's always a damn Buick.
So, yes, I think it was yesterday or the other day, we were at the store, and I was smoking a cigarette before we went into the store, and there was 2 shopping carts in the parking spot next to me. Some lazy person decided that they weren't going to put them away, and this guy pulled in. He was in a dark blue Ford Freestyle, and him and I started talking about how people are getting too lazy to walk 20 feet and put carts away. And so while I was smoking, he went into the store, and all of a sudden this little old lady, probably in her late 70s, early 80s, driving a Lincoln, an older Lincoln, probably late 80s, early 90s, hit the front end of his car and rocked it. I mean, just rocked that damn car. And I was like, damn, if I wouldn't have just smoked my cigarette, I wouldn't have seen this. So I went in the store and had him page for the guy driving the car and told him so he could go look at his car. And if there would have been...
The lady was gone, wasn't she?
No, she...
Probably hauled ass, yeah.
No, she rocked that car, and then she, backed up a little bit and got out and walked into the store like nothing happened. Didn't even, look to see if there was damage to the vehicle.
Yeah, just played dumb.
Didn't even leave a note, hey, I possibly hit, I hit your car or whatever, nothing. So, I let him know, hey, the car in front of you, that white Lincoln, hit your car. You might want to go check it. And, if there's damage, I can always be a witness.
I seen a guy hit my car once. Man, I was pissed. Here's a backstory to this, because I was at this bank because my boss robbed everybody's checks, and it took a month to get your paycheck and stuff. So, and I had to go to this certain bank and whatever. So I get in there, find a place, park, start going in, and all of a sudden I hear this, vehicle start up, not thinking nothing of it. Guy backs up and he's got one of them old Datsun pickups with a wooden box on it and shit. And dude backed right into my car, just creased the crap out of my door. And I'm sitting here on the steps what the hell? You turn around, see it. Look, the guy turns and looks at me, and then his dog, he's got this Dalmatian head sticking out of the window looking. And the dude just revs it and drops it. He punched it, dude. He burnt rubber all the way out of the damn parking lot and took the hell off. And I'm just standing there with my mouth open what the hell? That was crazy. Dude got away. What am I supposed to do? Go beat up an old man? The dude was old. He didn't give a shit. He just burned it. He was gone. It's great. I was so pissed, because it was bad enough I got gypped out of my paycheck and had to wait weeks and all this crap, and now this dude just hit my car. It was a bad summer.
So we've got AR Gun 1776 who's joined in, PNW Woods, and hunting and stuff with J&J, and Mr. Burnaby Sanchez just showed up, so welcome. Yeah, it was 2011, around there. I went to Walmart in Wenatchee, and I parked my Suburban way the hell away from everybody. I'm in the middle of nowhereville. No one parks out in this area.
What, did you park crooked across 2 lanes in the back you were special?
No, I was in
never mind then. Go ahead.
I was in a designated parking spot, everything, but I was just way the hell in the middle of nowhere. And I went in and did some shopping. I come back out, and some dude had hit my Suburban and slid down the fucking Suburban. Or some person, let me say that. and you could see that they had like left white paint running down my damn Suburban. And so on the Suburban, they have the metal bumper that has that plastic piece that goes on the out, that's just there for, I guess, looks. I don't know. It doesn't really do anything.
Strip, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, some are black, some are gold, or not gold, but chrome or whatever. Yeah, trim piece. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a plastic, trim piece, I guess, if you want to call it that, down the center of the bumper. Like, it's just there for looks. Really. Because right behind it is your actual metal bumper. And yeah, they've peeled that off the bumper a little ways, and yeah, I had to get a hold of the insurance company and say, hey, here was a hit and run. And they paid for that. Didn't jack up my insurance, surprising. Cool. So, Rich White's not going to be doing a show tonight. If you're not doing your show tomorrow, Riggs, shoot me an email or something, and if I'm not doing anything, I might possibly pick up your show tomorrow evening. So, may do a...
Been go on a show binge?
Might do a couple shows. But, so, that plastic trim piece that was on the bumper was more expensive to replace just the plastic trim piece than it was to replace the entire bumper. It's like the bumper's not damaged, but yeah, it would have cost $400.
Now, is that a painted bumper?
No, it was the chrome bumper, just a standard.
That was cheaper to replace a bumper than just the rubber piece.
Yes,
that's great. That's great.
It was like $400 for the plastic or rubber trim piece, and it was $225 for the entire front bumper. I'm like, can you just use some like Bondo or some super glue? Yeah. So it was kind of weird. I see M. Gabriel's out there. Welcome.
Yeah, does seem weird. So, I mean, I'm half tempted to go look on eBay right now. I bet you I can find one like $30 plus shipping or something. Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't know. Maybe not, but
yeah, I mean, it was weird that's what the repair shop told me. I'm like, no, there's got to be, cheaper out there. Like, oh no, if you're getting getting these parts from Chevy or GMC, this is what it costs. I'm like, well, there's aftermarket companies that make that same crap. Oh, but your insurance quotes that we have to go, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. So it can kind of get crazy when they, oh, well, because you have a loan on the vehicle, then it requires that you have all these parts, blah, 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 instead of doing this, this, and this. Like, oh, okay. So I financed like 10 like 10% of what the total vehicle cost because I was short. And okay, I'll pay the damn car off in like fucking 2 months. And yeah, it was weird. So, well, the repair shop that I went to back when I was in Washington I knew them for a very long time. They were a very reputable company. They were quoting you brand new prices. They were gonna put brand new parts on there. It's not like they would quote you a brand new price and then go get, a used or secondhand part and put it on there and keep the difference. There are shoddy companies out there that do that also. So, are you gonna get your woman a new firearm there, Rob?
Why? So I keep up with the Joneses?
Yes, exactly why.
Well, you send me $600 and sure.
Well, the pistol I bought the wife did not cost $600. So if it's costing you $600, you're getting robbed.
Everything in New York costs more.
Probably why you should move from New York.
You can't even die for free.
Well, you can. There's ways of doing it. So, P&W Woods was talking about doing like a Jeep gun or a slug gun for the garage. That could be nice. P&W Woods says Rob wouldn't buy a Glock. There's other guns out there that aren't Glocks that still cost less than $600.
Not many in New York.
I know. You probably got to pay $600 for a High Point in New York.
I've seen those like $250, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my Compact 22 online was like $399 or something they were selling for, something like that. And I think it was or $299. I can't remember, but needless to me actually purchasing it from the store and everything said and done, like I spent close to $500.
Damn.
Yeah. My Shield was like $500. Granted, this was like back when they came out, but where now they're like, buy a gun, have a free Shield. Like what the hell? So
M. Gabriel says Rob will pocket the 600 and give her a Sky.
no, I wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't admit to doing that.
Give her a nice $300 Shield. No.
So Miss Hotshot, I think, threw out the link to her giveaway. So I would advise people to check into that.
She over there beating on the cats again.
No, I don't think the wife's beating on the cats yet.
We stumbled across a kitten yesterday.
What'd you say?
I said you're not beating on the kitties today.
Getting ready to. Damn, now I can't. They're called owls. I know.
Yep. So I gotta find a new shooting spot because the shooting spot I used to shoot in is gone. I guess that was a private piece of land that a lot of people got to shoot on. But because people were throwing their garbage out, they decided no more. Now you go on that property, you're trespassing. So, and it's posted. So,
Sucks.
you know, people would take refrigerators out there, TVs out there, shoot them up, and just leave them. And it's like, dude.
That maybe if you could figure out who the owners were and actually approach them and said, like, you'll carry out a bag of garbage every time you go, whether it's yours or not, just, because you respect their property and appreciate the use of the range, maybe they'd let you. Yeah. Because that's abnormal. And when you hit people up with abnormal shit, they look at you more serious and, they might be cool with it. But you got to try. I mean, and that might seem awkward or strange, but the worst they're going to say is no. And, at least you tried.
Oh, yeah. And I might look into it. If it's one of the lumber mills around here, it won't matter. They're just going to say, hell no. They've been, once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah. I mean, if it's any major company like that, then they just might have a company thing or something now. But if it's somebody that actually owns it that didn't care, then you have a chance of changing somebody's mind. But a corporation's usually another story. So.
Yep. So yeah, I'll probably look and see. I didn't think about that. And M. Gabriel said he heard a kitty. Yep, that's my fat kitty. She's like 17 pounds.
Yes. Lady found a kitten yesterday. She showed up. She's got this little kitten. I'm like, oh hell no, you don't. She's like, oh, I'm like, don't get attached. It's too late. I'm like, bullshit. Basically, the cat's no longer with us, but cleaned it up, tried to give it a home, and that didn't work out. Actually, through 2 homes, so now it's in a cat house outside. But it's not like a baby kitten, but it's a kitten. So, and its mom's running around outside too. So, should be all right. But I ain't taking no more pets on. So, I don't care how cute they are. Almost got suckered. Oh, I killed the chat.
No, the wife's asking me crap about college football. Trying to figure out what channel the next Pac-12 game comes on, because she doesn't want to hear us talking.
Oh, she wants to stare at the hunky football players instead, huh?
You have a phone. You have the ability to listen to Rob talk if you want to. Just because you only want to listen to my half.
I don't want to listen to your half. That's the point.
You hear the kind of crap I got to put up with there, Rob?
Crap. Oh, you should be honored.
What, that she doesn't want to listen to me talking?
Yeah, she's got selective hearing. She's tired of hearing your crap. When you buy her some flowers, she might want to hear what you got to say.
I bought her some flowers.
No, you got free flowers, man. Because the guy at the mechanic shop liked you, and then you gave it to your wife.
Okay, so at the oil place,
Yeah, I ain't never got no damn flowers at the oil place, buddy. Maybe a keychain, maybe somebody's wife baked cookies, but I ain't never got no damn flowers.
like I think it's every Tuesday or whatever, they do Women's Day. And so if a female goes into the shop,
So you identified as a female that day?
no, the wife was in the car.
Yeah, I was sitting there.
Tell us the truth, man. Tell us the truth. You're trying to get the female discount, weren't you?
The wife was in the passenger seat when I got the oil change. So
the guy comes up and hands you a flower.
Well, he handed it to her through the driver window because my window was down.
Oh, I thought he looked you in the eyes and gave it to you.
No. He's like, here's a flower for you. And handed it to the wife through the driver window.
Oh my God, you didn't beat that dude up?
God. Hell no. I'm like, I'm taking credit for this motherfucker. I took credit on mine.
You ordered it. Okay.
She got the flower because I went in and got an oil change. So I paid $80 for a damn flower and got a free oil change.
I don't know, man. I think those guys are Casanovas. Like, I got a feeling there's some wives out there going to get their oil change once a week, if you know what I mean.
B&W Woods is like, so the oil place gave her a flower. G23 did $0.
Yes.
I took my vehicle in. I got the oil change, and she got a flower out of the deal. It's a win-win. She got the damn flower because of an action that I did. So I could have gone in the day before, and she wouldn't have got a damn flower. I could have gone in the day after, and she wouldn't have got a damn flower.
So what if it was a kiss instead of a flower?
Then the dude's going to be looking at a hospital bill. No, I am not going to buy the wife something that's going to die in 3 fucking days.
People in the chat are telling you to, huh?
P&W Woods says, go buy her flowers. Look, the last time I bought her flowers was on her birthday. Yeah, this year. When she was in the hospital with COVID.
So it had to be a trifecta. They deserve flowers. Huh?
So there. I bought her flowers this year. That's like once every 10 years she's gonna get flowers.
If I'm in the hospital.
Hey, you got flowers on a random day when we lived in Cashmere just because I felt like it.
And now I'm thinking you probably got those free too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who gave you those flowers? You got your oil change, huh, buddy?
Nope. I was at a grocery store up in Cashmere, Washington. It was called Martin's Marketplace. And I got off work early, and so I was like, screw it, I'll go to the store, pick up some stuff, and make a nice dinner. And I was like, hell, those are some nice flowers. So I was looking at the flowers, and the guy's like, uh-oh, what'd you do? I'm like, I'm just going to surprise the wife. And he's like, well, I got to get flowers because I fucked up. I'm like, well, then you should get 2 dozen. And he did.
Well, if it was that bad, I don't think the flowers are going to help him.
Probably not, but so P&W Woods, you got this backwards. See, he says, I buy my wife a coffee almost every day and flowers twice a month. Step up your game.
Oh my God.
Dude, I let my wife buy me a coffee like once or twice a day, sometimes 3 times in a day, and I don't buy her flowers.
Jeez. Honestly. Shut up.
Yeah, this guy's a savage. He's an animal. Like, when he kicks it and she gets in touch with a real man, oh, God. She's not going to know what to do with herself. Then she's going to get all, thankful and appreciative, and then you're going to be rolling in your grave like, you son of a bitch.
I'm getting
Whatever
burnt.
this is.
I already know. I'm getting cremated and loaded up into ammunition so I can be shot out of, You see, Rich White understands. Cut flowers are a waste of money. Absolutely.
It's the meaning. Plus, there's some little flower girl out there getting thrown out of her house in the morning and go collect flowers to sell to you, and they got to eat too. So it's a big cycle. And then the ladies smile, and the house smells good.
So I'm just telling you, it's a waste of damn money. It's a waste of damn money.
No.
I can save the money and then buy her something nice that's tangible. That can be used
You just
multiple
ain't got no
times.
game, do you? How'd you get her? Is she still chained up?
Yes.
We're gonna have to figure out your address one day and release her.
Probably. So, M. Gabriel says, aren't you dealing with Oregon 114 now? Yes. So, we'll talk a little politics for just a very short amount of time. Oregon Major 114 is a horrible piece of shit. In there, they're pretty much anything you can think of that could do away with your rights is piled in that bill. So, the first off, they want you to have to get a pistol purchasing permit, which they don't even have, which will require law enforcement to offer a course, because there's going to have to be live fire training in this course. And there isn't any police department, sheriff's department, or state police department in the state of Oregon that has enough manpower or has a facility that meets the standards that they have. And 2, they don't even exactly know what all the standards are going to be. They haven't even laid them out. In there it says the like bare minimum, and says and will be added on based on what certain state agencies decide that they want to add to that. 2, if by chance they allow instructors to do this course, again, there's no range in the state of Oregon that meets the minimum standards required to be able to do this training. And there's no cap of what they could charge. So if they let it off to instructors, that training could go from anywhere from $50, I think, which is the minimum, to $5,000, depending on how they want to charge for it. 2, it requires live fire. Well, if this is your first pistol, how the hell are you going to be able to show proficiency? Because in the state of Oregon, there's already a law on the books that you cannot loan, transfer a firearm to any person without a 4473 being done on them. Well, to do that 4473, you need this pistol purchase permit. So you're in a catch-22. So how's that going to happen? Then, if you get past that, they want to limit the amount of rounds you can have in a magazine. So you go to a 10-round magazine only. And they say that they're going to grandfather the mags you already have. But in the wording of the bill, it says to possess, transfer, or use any high-capacity magazine over 10 round is a crime. So yeah, and even if you go to surrender it, I mean, what are they going to give you a certain window that you have to go and get rid of it before it becomes a crime? Really? You're all these bullshit that's going to happen, and so this is going to hurt people that don't have a whole lot of funding. Your poor people, your people, your working poor, or anybody, and it's going to open the damn door to domestic violence, where if you need a firearm because your significant other has been beating the shit out of you, and that piece of paper isn't going to do a damn thing to help you, well, good luck, because you're going to have to do this training. Who knows when that's going to be offered, because they're going to have to come and figure out the policy on it, how they're going to implement it. Then they're going to have to be able to hire people. They're going to have to be able to fund all this and everything. So you're probably looking a year from the time it's voted in, if it passes, to the actual implementation. Now, are they going to say, okay, well, it doesn't take effect until we can implement it? Or no, it's going to take effect on this date, and just because we can't come up with that policy for a year, well, I guess you just can't buy a firearm. So yes, it does ban actual magazines, and it's a stupid slippery slope. Plus, how the hell is it constitutional to have people vote away other people's rights? I mean, I can't vote away somebody's First Amendment right. Sorry, you know. You have any thoughts on it, Rob?
Just the usual. It's a shit deal. So hopefully it's so crazy that even the other side or don't go for it. But who knows? So it doesn't sound too much different than New York in a sense. So I don't know. Obviously not condoning it anyway. But it seems like a bunch of crap personally. So
yeah, and M. Gabriel says, I see civil rights lawsuits. There's already a couple, I think Off and like SAF are already like waiting to find out if it gets voted. They're going to probably immediately drop lawsuits. So I can see that happening again.
You'd expect that, especially if they go ahead and implement it in a sense, make it law, but yet they can't make it happen. Then obviously, there's a conflict, and some judge will say there's suspension until such and such date, and then we'll hear about it for God knows how long until something actually does happen. So I mean, almost well, I'm not going to say like in New York, but similar, I guess, in some sense. But so I don't know. Sounds like crap. Sounds like another way a bunch of money is going to get wasted to fight something that's completely ridiculous. So same thing. All these people love to do with our money, but I guess we're going to keep voting the same shit bags in there and expect something different.
Yeah, and it's the thing is what a lot of people don't seem to pay attention, even on the other side. Here's the thing: you're gonna vote these people in, or you're gonna vote these kinds of laws into place, knowing that there's going to be a legal challenge. So not only is there going to be money being spent on the other side to try to get it overturned, these politicians are also spending your federal taxes, your state taxes, to defend these. And so, well, if they lose, guess what? We just wasted a bunch of money. Oh, we got to jack up your taxes to, replenish that money we just lost. If you win, oh, guess what? They're going to then try to raise your taxes to, again, replenish that money that was spent. So, and nothing else, it's a tax game. They can keep jacking your taxes up, and finally you're not going to have enough money to be able to fight these kinds of lawsuits, because you're going to make just enough money to pay your bills and not have a damn dime for any kind of fun. And that's what they're going after. They don't, they'll try to, just bankrupt you. That's the way it sounds to me.
That seems to be the way it is. So in a lot of cases. So, or, even somebody that stands out that runs on a lower level, like, I did. A lot of times they get harassed. There's problems that come with that. Your wife starts getting pulled over every night, all this type of shit. Like, people act like it don't happen, but it's a damn cabal, some of this stuff. So, like, like here, our elections, everybody I can go vote for is basically the same. They're all on the same team. They all go to the same country club. They're all the same shit. Like, so vote for pile A or pile B or pile C. None of them should have the damn job. Like, what the hell's the point? Like,
So
I don't understand it. Like, I could, I don't know. I could go in business, like making paper logs and selling it for heating with all this junk mail I get now. And everybody's got to lie on somebody else. Like, you can't believe any of them. You just can't. They're career politician type people, or they worked in this, or they're supposed to be small time, but they're tied in with this business, and there's this shady deal and all this stuff. They're all freaking crooked, and they all hang out at the same damn place. I mean, that to me right there tells you like that none of them are my guy. None of them are my guy.
So there's one person here in
Or
Oregon
girl.
there's one person here in Oregon that's running for governor, and I would love to be able to vote for this person. And the only thing that's keeping me from voting for this person is I know for a fact if I vote for them, I'm just wasting my vote. And I'm guaranteeing that the other side, that the Democrats are going to win, because I'm splitting the votes on the conservative side, and so there's no.
Well, I hear that argument a lot, and I know what you're saying, and I guess that's one line of thinking. But at the same time, it's never gonna change if you never change it. So, you know what I mean? Yes,
Yeah.
like you might be ready to step to the third party or somebody else, but if everybody else doesn't, then it's a waste. But, I still think, it's never going to happen until people do. So I don't know. I mean, if that's truly you want to go for, then vote for that and vote with your conscience. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, my opinion, because personally, I think it's all this pretty much the same crap anyway. I mean, like when you you looking way back at a lot of this stuff, if you just want to focus on guns, it slowly started compiling, and now we compromise at a point where we gotta ask permission to even buy a gun in some places and stuff like that. Like that's ridiculous. We've gone way down the road too far. How come so and so didn't fix it years ago, or so and so else didn't fix it? We still keep progressing to a bad place. So it doesn't matter which side you take. You're just going quicker or slower. So
yeah, this year is probably, or this election, let's say, it's probably the greatest chance that Oregon has had in the last 40 plus years of going red.
I was gonna say, if you trust the system to begin with, then that's a whole nother thing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
So it's got because the Democrat that's running, Tina Kochek, is so far left, and she started, she's been attacking the governor that's, been in place, and she's been attacking other Democrats, and so she's kind of splitting that party. So that's the only reason why I'm saying that there's a good chance, is because she's pissing off enough people on her own side that they may not go back out and vote, or they may not vote for her. And so that's the only reason why I'm saying we have a really good chance at turning this state and actually getting some stuff corrected. And
politicians in power in Oregon are just wrong.
yeah. So okay. Um,
There's only one candidate running for governor who will change things.
yeah, so this is
Has a plan to fix it. Christine Drazan.
right now between Christine Drazan, who's the conservative, and Tina Kotek or Kochek or whatever the fuck her name is. They're in a neck and neck race. So it could easily, be one or the other. I don't see Betsy Johnson having a chance. And she's a independent now. She used to be on the Democrat side, but a lot of people on the Democrat didn't like her because she stood up for 2A, which I respect. That even though she was a Democrat, she still founded for the the Constitution. She's like, hey, this is how we're gonna do. So she could also divide the Democrats and take votes away from Tina Kochek. So and then we have a Constitution, somebody who's running on the Constitutionalist, and they have, I would love to say, hey, yeah, this is a person to go and vote for, but I really don't see that they have any kind of a chance at winning. I mean, there's zero name recognition. So we'll get off the politics. So yeah, just 2A people. I don't care if you've got a Democrat behind your name or a Republican or what. We just need more constitutional people, the people that are going to actually take their oath for what it means. $223DMR says that he says, Rob, I'm cooking squash tonight. Do you have a problem being able to cook squash, Rob?
No, I think that's actually good. Could be pretty tasty, especially depending on how you make it.
Well, I mean, I guess depending on what kind of squash it is, too. I mean, are we talking a summer squash, butternut squash? Are we talking, how are you going to cook it? How are you going to prep it? There's all different things. And then, do you actually know how to cook the squash so it comes out tasting good? Or are you going to try poisoning people like Rob would? And then, it was my oven's fault. My oven.
It was definitely the oven. That's good stuff. So I had mixed vegetables, potatoes, mashed potatoes, like real mashed potatoes, and pork tenderloin. I'm not sure what the seasoning of the tenderloin was, but it was good and cooked right.
So your woman did the cooking tonight, I take it.
Yeah, she cooked. Yeah. She's been on a kick lately, which is good. Like, she's been I don't know, doing different meals, so switching things up a little bit, which I'm happy with. So, yeah, it's good to switch things up now and then. Sometimes you get in a rut and go with what's easy or what you're used to, but yeah, good for the palate, I guess. At the risk of sounding like a foodie.
Yep. So we have box cutter Jerry who's joined us and GMC TX for Texas. So welcome. Good to see you guys. Yeah, I think we're going to have eggplant parmesan.
That's
And
good. I like that.
and we're going to have some like Texas toast.
Okay. Yeah, it depends how they do the eggplant, because I like the crispy, like, the outside's, it's like breaded. It's crispy, and then the inside's soft and flavorful. You know what I mean? But some places you'll get it, and the outside's like, it's almost like I don't know, Burger King pickle or something. Like it looks half beat, and it's all soggy, and it's just that's no good. I don't like the soggy squash stuff or whatever, zucchini.
Yeah. You kind of got to have a crisp edge and then, like you said, a soft on the inside.
Whether it's fried okra or whatever, it can't be like soggy. I mean, even tater tots. Who likes soggy tater tots? You know what I mean? I know they can be taken a few different ways, but you know what I mean. It's just, you don't want it to just taste like liquid oil sogginess.
Yep. So 223DMR says he's a Southern chef, so gotta love Southern food.
I love it till the morning.
Yeah. Rich White's talking about Paul Pelosi getting hammered and not on alcohol.
Man, I had a friend over here today. He's over here hanging out, and he was telling me about it. He's like, "You hear about that?" He's like, "Man, I wish Pelosi was home. Why couldn't he got her too?" I was like, "Oh man, you can't say that." He's like, "Shit." He's like, you were thinking it. I'm like,
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
This is funny because he's not really a politics guy, so I don't think they're liked too well.
Well, so when the story first happened, they didn't say anything about the guy.
I heard some stuff.
At the very first time they talked about it, they didn't say anything about him yelling, "Where's Nancy?" or anything. So I was thinking, hey, maybe it was just because, they're back at it again because a couple weeks ago or a few days ago, something like that, they were back in the news about more insider trading. And then the next thing you know, the story comes out where he's getting beat with a hammer. I'm thinking, well, somebody got pissed off that they were doing that insider trading. And then come to find out that he wasn't really after the husband. He was after the wife. But he decided to take it out on the husband. And then the story got changed a third time to the dude was like 3/4 naked or whatever. He was just in his underwear. Took 2 hammers with him in his underwear and tried challenging the husband to a hammer duel, and cracked his skull. So yeah,
I don't know. Who the hell knows? And the fact that the story keeps changing up, I mean, that's just strange to begin with. But all I seen like Salty Cracker's little take on it and stuff. So, it could be biased. I don't know. I really don't know. But they said something about a leaked reporter saying like the naked guy or something. So I don't know. I mean, if you want to go along with that, it sounds like some weird, some weird
Yeah.
rich people shit, typical stuff. Like, yeah. I don't know. Supposedly the guy's got a rainbow flag flying in his house. His neighbors refer to him as some type of hippie or something. So
Yeah,
who,
the
who
hippie
the
house.
hell knows? I don't know. Who's to say? I got no idea. But
Yeah.
that's if you can believe any of it. So it is strange though, because you'd expect to see somebody's picture plastered all over the place, and they're going to make an example out of you, and but yet I still haven't seen a photo of this person, and like kind of like Salty said, like you can't tell me like her neighborhood and shit, they ain't got cameras. Like there's got to be video all over this dude, especially if he's running around half dressed with hammers and shit. Like that's it's got to be a little strange. I mean, is it freak night or what? I don't know.
I get allegedly. I mean, again, this is if you want to believe what the media is telling you, the guy lived in the community. Like he owned a house in the neighborhood.
They knew each other and everything. Like a friend was having an episode or something. And so, I don't know. I don't know. Like I say, it's hard to know what the hell to believe. So who knows? And if they are doing some weird shit, they ain't gonna want to tell anybody about it. So, so who the hell knows?
And Rich says the guy is a leftist, nudist, illegal alien from Canada. This is going to get flipped. Finally, when the final draft comes out, this is going to be a MAGA Republican, registered conservative, registered Republican voter, blah, blah, blah. And this was all an attack to scare Pelosi from rerunning or to scare her to, retire. This is how it's going to play out in the media.
Maybe. I mean, they sure they could try whatever they want, but I think that most people are smart enough to know the media is not 100% on the up and up anymore. So I don't know. People are going to buy that. Yeah, would have been something if it was like one of the people her husband ran over in one of his DWIs, and it was one of their family members that was pissed off and tried to come back to get even. That would have made a better story. Yeah, but I'm sure that would get twisted too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I don't know where this Nightbot came from, so I have got to take care of that situation.
I'm curious. I mean, did they release like response time? How long did it take for the police to show up in her neighborhood? For a guy with a hammer. Like, shit. It's like it makes me want to try an experiment. Call the cops and lie and tell them I got a guy with a hammer outside. Well, that'd be a false claim if I didn't lie. But
yep.
But I bet you it's probably a little longer.
Yeah, there's times where you're like, you guarantee you they probably had a sub 3-minute response time.
Something.
And you never know. I mean, maybe it was a little longer of a response time because of how long it took to actually get because that beating had to have taken some time.
I don't know. I didn't see the images, but
Well,
you can mess somebody up pretty quick with a hammer. Like, I'm surprised somebody isn't dead. Believe it or not, like a hammer is a deadly weapon. Like, especially like a carpenter where it's just a part of your body. Like, a hammer is nasty. You kill somebody real quick, like too quick. You know what I mean? And not like, we should ban them or not have assault hammers, but I'm just stating, like, a hammer is a decent weapon. These little thumbnail clips, like if you're talking some little dollar store hammer, but you get hit with a framing hammer, you ain't just chugging, you're gonna know. Like, so I don't know. I don't know what type of hammer it was. Was it a little dollar store kit hammer or but it doesn't take much to mess somebody up with a hammer. Could have been like a 30-second altercation where it was actually physical, and then the police were rolling up on site, is what I'm getting at. I don't know. I didn't see the guy.
Yeah, I don't know all about that either. Okay, well, I am not seeing how I can get to like my moderator or anything, so I'll have to worry about that later. Because I've got to.
We got bots out there or something.
All of a sudden,
You made
like
it big time.
a Nightbot showed up. It's like, how can you have Nightbot if you never put them on your you have to be able to add Nightbot. So, but whatever. I banned him.
Were they starting crap, or they just had a name Nightbot?
Oh, it said Nightbot, and it was talking about
Dates or something?
spamming. That's what right there. It says at Hypocrites, you have to let it go, stop spamming symbols. And then it says warning.
That's weird. Sounds like one of them ads where they're trying to sell something that should be 10 grand for 200 bucks. Yeah.
HIPAA's like, I made it bad. Yeah.
That's weird. Those house things when you're looking to rent out of state and you're looking at places and they're like, yeah, I'm off in, whatever, Haiti saving kids. So I'm not on site, but just send me the money and we'll send you the paperwork. And, okay. Find like 5 ads for the same place.
Mm-hmm. And then you find it on a realtor site for sale.
Yeah. And it's close, like, but they never really get it right. Like, you can kind of tell a typo and somebody that's trying. So, and it could be legit, but that's just always bad business. Bad business.
PNW Woods says Nightbot equals AFT. Well, they got the ban hammer. They got hammered.
So yeah, you got to get yourself out to a range, man.
Yeah, I was gonna join.
Figure something out.
I was gonna join the gun club right up the road.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 20 minutes away. And then I started reading, and it's a little over $100 a year for the membership. And then they want like $10 or $20 every visit.
Wow.
Plus, if you bring a guest, it's like $10 or $20
What?
per guest.
Is that
Or
even legal?
it's $20 per guest. Because they charge a non-member fee.
Okay, yeah. Well, usually a lot of places will allow you to have like a guest, but it can't be an everyday type thing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Or they'll
Yeah.
offer like a package for your spouse or whatever. Because when I went into a club here, I just bought like almost like a
Family.
double, but it was cheaper because it was just easier that way. But it seems like a rip off, man. Like, cause to me, $100 it sounds about right for a year. Somewhere around there, 100, 120. They always would like donations, this and that, but or if you want to use their targets, then they expect you to donate or chip in or something. But if you bring your own targets, I mean, you shouldn't have to pay every time you show up too, like you're at a public range, or not public, but a rented range. Yeah, I don't know. If you're in the club, why do you got to pay every time you walk through the door? Like, that seems weird, man.
Yeah. So there's another range down the road. It's about an hour drive, and it's $10 if you're a non-member per visit, which is, hey, that's reasonable. If you're a non-member, yeah, you should, but it's, I think it's $60 a year to be a member, and that's for
Sounds even better.
Yeah, and that's for you, your entire family, and after your kid turns 21, they have to get their own membership. Hey, at 18, my kid needs to get their own damn membership, but
free ride, you little son of a bitch. No.
The free ride's over.
No. That sounds a lot better. I mean, they got indoor, outdoor, at any time of day, or you got to be there between, they close at 5, but you don't get out of work till 4.
Yeah.
How's that? Did you check their hours?
7 days a week, but they close at like 5, and last call is 4:30. So like ceasefire is at like 4:30. 4:30, 4:45, something like that.
Damn. Well, dude, isn't it like woods everywhere in your area? That's not a city. Like, I mean, can't you go out like within an hour drive somewhere just to shoot yourself?
Yeah, I just got to find the forestry land, or
you gotta like take a weekend to find a spot, scout a spot out, and make it your own. Just don't make it obvious, or else everybody else will show up and ruin it. But would be my suggestion. Then you don't have the rules. Like, you can go any day of the week, you know what I mean? It's probably closer to you, so it'd be a lot more convenient for you, basically, is what I'm getting at.
Oh, yeah. 223 DMR says, G23 and Rob, if you lived closer, I would let you come shoot for free. That would be awesome.
Cool.
I'm trying to get the wife. I'm trying to get the wife to move to Missouri, but she ain't down for that. And hell, even if you look, you can pick up a nice chunk of land for not a whole lot of money.
Well, I basically shoot for free now anyway. I'm no longer a member of the club that I used to be, in a sense, but I'm tired of getting interrogated every time I show up. But anyway, so I don't pay anything besides gas and ammo. But other places to shoot is always fun and interesting, especially if people got their own land and have a little thought put into it and stuff.
Hell yeah.
Maybe incorporate, outbuildings or whatever and stuff into it. So I'm always looking for a good time, as long as it doesn't involve jail or an STD.
Yeah. So PNW says National Forest. Do it often, just need a forest pass. I don't know if Oregon requires a forest pass.
Lots of states are different. I know in New York, I don't need anything. As long as it's not marked, this or that, I can shoot, But in PA, like they got state land too. You go over there and you got to have like a $20 permit for recreational shooting. So
Yeah.
it's a fine. So I'm so lucky. Like, I'm so glad I never did that before I knew. When, like who would think? I didn't know. Nobody's ever said anything. You know what I mean? I had no idea. It just came up in conversation one day. Like, oh, really? Like, wow. It's almost like same thing with Jersey and Hollow Points. I had no idea. Like,
well, if you go
lucky,
if you go to one of those places, it's like forestry land that they have a gun range on. Like an actual run. They'd probably see that you have out-of-state plates, and they'd probably just give you a warning. Hey, you need to buy a permit.
Maybe. Yeah, I got no idea. No, it was cheap. Like, it's not a big deal. It's just, it's cheaper than the fine you're going to get for not having one. So if you're going to do it, I'd recommend doing it. But if your choices are drive an hour and you might be able to catch the place once a week, maybe, or drive 30 minutes any day of the week, then, I'd rather pay the $20 to drive the 30 minutes any day of the week. Then pay 60 plus the gas and everything for a maybe. I'm gonna try to get there, but it's not guaranteed all the time. So but hey, it's all what works out for you, because you can get like little target setups or this or that and still have fun without it being a huge chore. If you want a big running gun course, and it's gonna be work, but if you just set some targets up, this and that, it's not a huge deal.
Yeah, I have a custom made target stand for steel targets that I did myself, which I should do a video on, showing how it breaks down and goes together super easy. And then you can pick up those paper target holders. I think I got a set of the paper target holders at Sportsman's. You got 2 of the orange that stick in the ground. I think it was like $12, $11.99, $12.99, something like that. It wasn't super expensive.
Yeah, well, if you're doing something like that, the possibilities are almost endless. I mean, down to paper plates, to balloons, or whatever. As long as you pick your trash up and it's not destroying the environment, especially where you are. But you could do almost anything. So it could be your recyclables. As long as you pick it up, it's not an issue. But well, not glass, obviously, but you know what I mean. But or make any kind of targets. Get a couple steel targets, set them out, so your further shots. If you're hitting roughly or not. Things like that. So there's a lot you could do. So, and the beauty is, there is no clock in, clock out. There is no buddy grilling you. There's no 3 rounds of 10 every 10-second rule or all this other crap I hear people have. So
there's some of those
ridiculous. You can't draw from a holster. Like most people carry a gun for self-defense reasons. Like, where the hell are you gonna get it? Like, it's on your table every time you get attacked, or what? Like, you got to draw from your holster. Like, you know what I mean? I don't understand that. Like, that should be part of the safe training. You know, you don't want the guy next to you drawing and putting a round in your leg because he never gets to draw from the holster. Like, you know, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why wouldn't you? I mean, insurance reasons, this or that, because too many people put a round in the floor or the ceiling or whatever. I don't know. You know, I can't speak for all, but it just seems like a hindrance in some cases. So, yeah.
I mean, so I see the both sides of that, because you could have people that are doing it unsafely, and that's where the clubs and ranges are like, you know, hey, you know, we've had some bad situations and we're just looking at a safety point, and we don't want to get sued because somebody gets shot because somebody doesn't know what the hell they're doing. But again, how are they going to know what to do if they never get to practice? Yeah, you can go put, you know, rounds on paper, you can go put rounds on steel and stuff like that, and you can work on your muscle memory. And I get it. You can, you know, when you're at home, you can do your draw practice along with dry fire practice. But sometimes actually drawing and firing, you know, live rounds is going to be different than drawing and firing with no rounds.
Yeah, I think it, you know, when it falls in that muscle memory stuff, if you're following the rules, like, you know, it's almost like a fight, like, you know, boxing or MMA. If you follow the rules on the street, like, you're probably not going to win. It's just what it is, you know, in a sense. So, I don't know. And then these clubs will restrict things so bad that, you know, you just get it bred into you that, it, you know, it could be a hindrance later. I don't know. Not saying in every case or every situation or whatever, but yeah, I think you should be able to practice as if you were, you know, you got hit and, you know, kicked to the ground. You should be able to draw from, you know, pulling yourself up off the ground or something if need be. But, you know, you do that in one of these places, they're going to think you had a heart attack or stroked out. And, you know what I mean? And definitely as soon as they see you drawing a gun, they're going to freak. And, you know, but stuff like that, or people in a wheelchair. Like, it's very, like, you know, it's very, very possible that an asshole is going to throw you out of a chair during an assault. So you should be able to draw your gun from the ground. Like, you know what I mean? In a sense, is what would be my recommendations. I wouldn't recommend it's always on your chair, because you may get removed from your chair by a prick. You know, let's just face it. You know, so that type of stuff. Same thing. Yeah, you might come around a corner and get sucker punched, get clubbed or something, and then, you know, you got to draw your gun from that point. So it's not always just a perfect standoff, high noon situation, or getting out of your vehicle, like, you know, from a chair. So I don't know. You know, it's just, granted, these are all different scenarios and all that stuff, but it just seems like a hindrance when people are stuck in that same, you know, it's just how they've always done it. It's how it's done, you know, type of shooting. And that's what, you know, safety with ranges does, kind of.
Yeah. I see we got Carolina EDC Reviews out in the crowd. Welcome, bud. Yeah, and I get it. You know, some of them will say, well, that's what, you know, training's for. You know, you take the training courses and we have different rules because we have, you know, it's a kind of a closed range, and it's a more of a controlled.
So you got to pay more money to be able to protect your family when you're carrying groceries and walking back to the car. More money. So if you're not rich, too bad for you, huh?
Yeah. You know, and I mean, it's one of those, you know.
Yeah, no, I get it from a facility standpoint. You know, I truly do. You got people that shoot, people that have grown up shooting and can't shoot for shit, but swear they can. You got other people that started yesterday that do a better job than half the people out there. I mean, people are all over the place. So I can see it being a liability, but it hinders, it's like going to any kind of class and you got a bunch of idiots. Like, you feel like you're wasting your damn time. Like, the people that are paying attention and people that are, serious, like, it just, limits what you could do. But you get a class and everybody's on point, you guys are doing way above and beyond and like actually working on skills, doing stuff. But when you get stuck with a bunch of idiots, you're focused on drawing between the lines the whole time. So it just sucks for the regular person. I mean, not the regular, but the person that is trying to advance a little bit but doesn't have a crap load of money, and they're paying to come use a range, and now everything they do they're getting called a foul on or this or that, because it's not just generalized what I'll term fudge shooting, bullseye shooting. A lot of people didn't get into guns to go bullseye shooting. They got into guns to save their life for for that purpose. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah. And Bald says you can't have people do cowboy shit on public ranges. People are too dumb for it. I'm sure every range has some events where you can train.
Yeah,
but not everybody has the extra, expendable income that they can go and afford to do. Hey, I'm going to go and do, USPSA or, whatever. IPSC, or I'm going to do cowboy action shooting, or, these other things where I can be in these events and be able to draw from a holster, or, I'm going to go take
drawn from a purse. It could be a female. You could be drawn from one of them hidden holsters on a female's body somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, we practice clearing a damn t-shirt. So now, women with their 4 layers and all this shit,
drawing from a belly band.
They should practice. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? So I don't understand. It seems crap. I don't know. Like I said, I get it as far as a legal standpoint, but I still think it leaves people that could do more. It leaves them kind of cold, in a spot where they're going to get in trouble if they attempt to. And that's crappy. That's why I say go out somewhere on your own. If you screw up, the only person you got to worry, be blamed is yourself. So, there's a risk in everything. There's a risk in driving to the range. So,
or even walking to the range.
Yep. So I don't know. Or at least, I don't know. I guess I couldn't see how a facility could do it without giving you like your own bay or something, without charging you more money to do it. I don't know how a facility really could. You figure a general waiver, and then they lock you in some pen and run away, and whatever happens happens at work. But I don't know.
So, and it all depends. Because there are ranges like the one I was looking at that's about an hour drive. They've got indoor ranges. They've got outdoor ranges. Pistol range outdoor, rifle range outdoor. They have, long distance rifle and then they have a cowboy action shooting range. And so this range is all set up. I think it's on 238 acres.
And that's the one for $60.
Yeah.
I don't know. I say, if you can do both, I mean, try to jump in there and then, give it a try for a year, try to find a spot on your own. So to do whatever, might not be approved at the range, and see which one you end up using more. If you use the one you pay for more, then keep that one. Or if it gets closed or whatever, you got the option of the other place because you're already familiar. Something like, more options are better than one. So that cowboy shooting, I know, people probably find it surprising, but actually that looks like fun. Like, I know, you know, it'd probably be comical seeing me in a damn cowboy hat and shit, trying to stand like half tipped over shooting and stuff. But it does look kind of fun, and with the smoke and it's the whole art of it and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. That might be worth buying a revolver to go have joke around the range a little bit if I had that.
And the thing is the reason why I kind of bring is that they have this cowboy action range, and how many people are going to go there, and just practice? There's probably very few people that are actually, shooting at that range, except if there's like a competition or they want to get some practice for the next competition coming up. So, if you were...
Wouldn't that be like a low caliber range or something? I thought they like downloaded all that stuff, so it's smoky, but not much power and real close targets.
Well, even if you
got those with regular, your normal EDC, you'd probably, I don't know if you tear up the targets or how that would work.
So
they probably wouldn't be happy.
Like I have the Heritage Rough Rider, a little 22. And so you could always, go to something like that with a little 22, something cheap, like that Heritage.
Yeah.
And you can still get practice. And you can still be able to convert that to being able, building muscle memory for being able to use it in your EDC. Because you're already practicing and understanding the recoil of your EDC. So using a 22 in the place of your, EDC.
I don't know, man. When you're rocked back up on your toes and all curved and almost sitting down and you flip that baby out of your holster, like that second shot, like if it's got, if it's low recoil, it might not line up right. You might need a little ump to help kick that barrel up to get on point,
Yep. And
sorry, I'm just messing with you. Sorry.
No, I was reading what G-Webs was saying about owning a piano don't make you a good piano player. Playing your piano a lot don't make you a good piano player. Playing in front of people don't make you a good player. Coaching helps you learn and get better. And no, we're not saying don't get coaching,
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying at all either. But you can, I guess what I'm saying is like you challenge yourself with improvements on your draw, clearing your stuff, being honest, not like these YouTube people that do it perfectly every time at high speed. But improving yourself. It's competition with yourself, things like that. Like, after you get instruction, because the average person is not going to go to a class every week. Like, you can't afford to do that, nor would you have the time. So you take what you've learned or, what instruction you've got and you go continue to practice it and improve. And everybody technically has weak spots, things they need to work on if they're honest. You focus on those things or drills, instruction that's been, instructed to you previously. You continue that out because, that's another thing. Like, just because you took a damn class don't mean you're the shit. Like, a lot of people took a class 20 years ago. That don't mean you remember every damn thing today. It's the same with CPR and all that shit. Like, a lot of it's changed, so what you learn might not be what's current now. And, so I don't know. You gotta stay on it, whatever it is, whether it's playing piano, whether it's riding a bike or, if you're Tony Hawk, like, you gotta get on the board now and then, that's all I'm saying. So, but it sucks when you can't even take that from your class and go to your local range and implement it because you're breaking all the rules. Like, that's what I was kind of getting at prior. Like, So now you just wasted that money for a one-time experience, or you can dance around in your bedroom and go bang bang. But it just kind of sucks. Like, it'd be nice to be able to do that at your range, but that's
Yeah.
where we get into those issues.
Yeah, and yeah, you take a training course to get better, and they teach you stuff. So then, hey, I want to practice this. Being able to draw and double tap, reholster, draw, and move to a different target and like triple tap, and stuff. Different practices and stuff. And so this way you're building on the class that you have taken, so that when that next class comes available, maybe you took a beginner course. Now there's you know an advanced course, and you go, okay, yeah, well, that advanced course is 6 months out, or whatever. So I'm gonna take this course, and I have 3, 4, 5 months to practice and get better, so that I'm ready to take that next course, and keep honing my skills, keep making myself better, keep challenging myself. And then I also have the ability to pass my knowledge on to my wife or my husband, depending on what your situation is, maybe onto your kids and stuff like that, and keep helping to get everyone better, because maybe you don't have enough money that you can put your whole entire family through these courses, or the courses say, okay, well, they can't take this unless they're at a certain age, but you want your kid to be prepared, so I'm going to go to the class, I'm going to learn this, and I'm going to teach this on to my kid, or whatever.
Yeah, the motives could be anything. I mean, it's hard to speak for any individual in particular, but yeah, it's just the fact of improvement or wanting to get better. Maybe you took a class and really sucked and was humbled, and you need to work on it, but you go to the range and now you can't work on it. That sucks. That's just it's a bad spot for people. So that's where it's nice if you can, have a range that you could, or, if you don't, go to a place where you don't have to pay and you can do it yourself. So obviously, might be wise to bring a friend or partner just for safety aspects, but you know what I mean? If that's how you feel, but you should do what you need to do to improve, to be comfortable, at least in my opinion. But everybody's different and people shoot for different reasons. So, but for the people like that, it would be nice if you could go to your local range and practice what you just learned here last Friday or whatever it may be.
Yep. Be like, hey, I was just in the class this range offered, last week. Now I can't practice what I just spent $300 in your range to learn.
No, we got level 14 you can sign up for, and for $1,200 and 15,000 rounds, you can come and do that. Sorry, we might be beating a dead horse, but my apologies.
So, Bald and Curious says, so where do you get coaching to get better at sex? Asking for a friend. In New York?
Well,
pretty much every other street corner. Probably $20.
You got my email, Bald. Yeah.
Whoa, wait. Whatever you and Bald do behind closed doors, we don't need to hear about it.
I don't mind giving them some tips.
Oh. So.
Yeah, I'm technically like referring back to, I guess, kind of G-Web's thing with training. Like I personally I think training is a good thing. So, yeah, I've been in conversations where it's kind of turning arguments. Like, I don't think it should be forced. I don't think it should be mandated. But I think, like anything, if you want to be better, then you got to invest in whatever you want to do, whether that's a hobby, whether it's profession, whether it's whatever, playing a piano. Like, you got to put in the energy. You can't just pick up a surfboard, walk around, try to pick chicks up, and never learn how to surf. It doesn't work like that or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you got to put in the time. So same thing with the guitar. Just because you play 2 songs don't mean you play guitar. Like, like you actually got to get involved. But the people who get good at stuff do this stuff regardless, whatever it is. They just naturally want to do that and put the time in, and then they usually get good at it. So, uh, so I don't know. I'm not against training. Like, at the Olympic athletes, they train. Military, you train. Like, if you're not working, you're training. That's what you do, because you want to be better than the next guy. So you're always pushing to be better. So, there's people that same way. So, or different situations. So I think training is great in those aspects, because a lot of times, we're people and shit, we're men. Half of us won't even ask for directions. So we all think we got it. It's the famous last words, hold my beer, until we don't. So, it's a humbling experience. So, in most cases, from my experience, there's always somebody better. You could be good, but don't get cocky, because there's always somebody better. So I think, the goal is to be better than the average, to be better than your competition in whatever you're doing. So that's to me. I don't know, but everybody else has their own motivation. So, but I support training, but I don't support mandating training. Because there's several occasions where somebody's saved a life or stopped an intruder that was never trained at all. There's little kids that have done it. So, but do you want to bet on that? So, and are you just doing it for you, or are you doing it for your family, household, community? So, there's differences.
Absolutely. And PNW says training makes you good faster. Yeah, I mean, if you actually pay attention and you put to use what you're learning and what you're being trained in, what you're being taught, yes, it can make you better, faster. Otherwise, it's kind of a waste of money and a waste of the other person's time who's actually trying to help you, trying to teach you.
Yeah, and that's another thing, is be open-minded. Just shut up and listen. Like, even if 90% of it, you'll probably find something that you find interesting, or you can look at differently, or didn't know in some cases. So, but I don't know. Try to get your experience, the money's worth out of your experience with them. So, other than going in acting like the guy that knows everything and wants to argue with the instructor about everything, and really, well, this ammo is da 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 da, and all this type of stuff. Because then you're just burning up everybody's time, and in the end, that guy can never shoot anyway. So,
Burnaby says, "Well said, Rob. Now go buy a Glock and join the normal people."
oh hell no, I got standards.
Oh, it is Glocktober.
Oh, man. I might get something right once in a while, but I still have standards.
Oh, I mean, you don't hear Smith & Wesson September or anything like that. No, but you got Glocktober.
That's true. Smith & Wesson should probably be like, I don't know, July or something. Yeah.
It would have to be like Smith & Wesson September, or Mayday M&P or something like that.
No. I'm thinking like, somewhere lined up with Independence Day, something really American.
Well, then they'd have to have something, you know, that
I
would
mean,
start with like a J.
your Glocktober is what, like somewhat correlation to the Day of the Dead and all that stuff, right? It's a runoff with Halloween and Day of the Dead. So basically, you're already a zombie if you're walking around with a Glock. It's almost full circle right there. Oh God. Sorry, folks. Yeah, for some reason nobody came in here to class in this, or well, add some class to this place. So you're stuck with our ramblings. Hopefully, you had your seatbelt on.
Balding Curious says G23, you have glaucoma as well. You do.
Well, I don't know, man. He shouldn't really be talking, that guy with his alien gear gun that's always breaking down and messed up
Well,
carbon and can't run these bullets. And I think it's this. And after I spend another $1,000, maybe I'll figure it out.
Oh, but he's got a Glock also.
Yeah, that probably runs fine.
Probably outruns that alien any day of the week. And definitely
It
isn't
just
ammo
looks
finicky.
ugly.
Hey, I'll take an ugly looking firearm over a pretty firearm that just sits there and can't do a damn thing. Bald says broke ass haters.
Yeah, you pay your ticket off yet, bro?
What ticket?
We'll see who's broke. Shit. Mr. Hot Rod Dad over there talking about, oh, my daughter said the car's fast, so we gotta take it out. Let me see what this can do. Woo!
Oh,
That was such a classic, though. That is such a dad move. Like, I can't tell you how much. That's funny. I just give
okay.
it credit because most people probably wouldn't have posted that, but he posted it. But man, I can't. I'm curious on the ticket. Told him I think it's probably going to be $350 in aggressive driving. Like, their dicks around here. They want you to pay and go take a damn class, or they'll cut you a deal and charge you like $400 for a class. And then, instead of giving you the ticket, that'd be like $350. But if you don't take the 400 route, then they'll just suspend your license anyway. Like, they're dicks about stuff. Like, they're crazy. Like, and then you got to go take the class separately. So you might as well just take the class. But so I'm curious what they're going to hit them for.
So, CNT Designed decided to leave a message there on the screen for you, Rob. And Bald and Curious says, it was a racist cop, was black, and hated white people in BMWs.
Oh, he's pulling the race card.
Yep. Oh, he says 70 and a 55 is not aggressive driving. Technically by law.
Dude, in
You
New
don't
York,
have to-
that's
you don't-
aggressive driving. You're on camera, like tires like barely gripping, balls at a wall past an officer. They're gonna call that aggressive driving.
Hell, if you're even doing, say the speed limit's 55, and you're doing 56, and you're, passing people and whipping in and out of lanes, they can call that aggressive driving. They can also call it road
You have
rage.
to be speeding, yeah. Like just a quick U-turn, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep. Or you switch lanes and you accidentally cut a driver off, or you get too close. Well, now they can call that aggressive driving, or they can call it road rage.
Yep.
They nail you both ways.
I got pulled over here because seen the girl go by that I was, trying to come pick up, not like in a bad way, but you know what I mean. And she was in a spot where I couldn't pull over, so I pulled into a gas station really quick and just immediately turned right back around and pulled right back out. And an officer was sitting in a parking lot, and he came right over and pulled me over. Same thing. It was basically he was seeing if I was upset or something because it was going to be
Yep.
I think like aggressive drive, and I was like, nah. I was, I think like I can't remember if it was a babysitter or who the hell it was, but I was like, nah. I was just trying to pick her up or whatever, and then she approached and wasn't screaming and yelling and shit, and he was like, okay, and basically, if everything checks out, I'll let you go.
Now you're lucky that he didn't say, "Oh, so you're trying to pick up a prostitute."
Yeah, no, he didn't.
You know?
It wasn't like that. Yeah, but it's just because I turned around so quickly, according to him.
I know, but
yeah, I thought it was weird, but
he could have easily have said, "Oh, so you weren't driving aggressively. You were just trying to pick up a prostitute." So now we're
insulting, but
so now we're gonna nail you for solicitation. We don't care that you're calling it your babysitter. Everyone has that excuse.
and Bald probably admitted it. I bet he did, because he was like, in his video, oh man, I wonder if he's gonna give me a ticket. Dude, you don't know how hard I laughed when you came back on, turned the camera on, like, he gave me a ticket. Dude, you weren't just cruising. You had it like the pedal to the floor. Like, that's just like poking the bear right there. He could not give you a ticket. That was hilarious.
Yeah. So, have a good evening, GMC, Texas. He says, have a good evening. Thanks for the laughs. You guys need to move to Texas.
Good evening, man. If anybody out there hasn't seen Bald's video, you should check it out. It's funny. I mean, you feel bad, but it's almost like you seen it coming. You know what I mean? It's one of them things. It's just could happen to. Don't want to say anybody, but yeah, it was pretty funny.
And Burnaby says Texas needs no more lunatics.
Talking about you, man.
I think he's talking about both of us there. So
Crazy.
Bald says, yeah, Burnaby said Texas needs no more lunatics. So Bald says, I didn't do any of that. Just hit the gas for a second. Didn't cut anybody off. Took foot off the gas immediately.
Well, dude, like, they got your video even as evidence. Like, technically, not saying they're gonna, but, you're pretty much guilty on that shit. So, you're just, let's see what this can do. You clearly let the car in front of you get a ways a little bit. Drop down to 40, like you said, and then you punch that shit. And then all of a sudden there's a car, and the car right behind that car happens to be the officer. And you were like, yo, he must have been on the side of the road. You didn't even see his ass because you were hauling ass, staring at the speedometer, giggling. Busted, bro. Busted.
He also says,
you better hope the court don't see that shit. You're going to put you in 2 classes.
He also says, Rob just hates me because he's pedal to the floor whenever he tries to move that Honda.
Nah, that's funny. It was I don't know, kind of poetic justice, because he's like, "Look, New York Outcast probably drooling. Look at this thing. Let's go see what it can do." And then you got your ass a ticket real quick, didn't it? That's funny, man. I love it. Because it wasn't me.
Oh. G-Web says, I get stopped for aggressive driving all the time, but not for bad driving. Just because the van is so damn tough, the lady cops want to pull me over to ask for a ride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's the dog. They just want to stop and pet the dog. That's what it is. So they can ask for his number.
And the free ammo on the written on the side.
Yeah, maybe it's a city thing, but it does happen. So, but all being in the same state, like I said, I'm really curious how this all works out. I'm shocked he hasn't had court. It's usually like 2 weeks. So he had
Yeah,
court out there. Is he talking, or he's ashamed to say?
he says, at least I got pulled over for riding in style.
Okay.
And G-Web says the puppy helps.
I want to know what the cost of his riding style turns out to be.
Well, no matter what, his insurance is going to triple.
It might go up because depending on the speed or how they write it. So, but that's the thing. If he takes the class, then they'll drop it. Not drop it, but you know what I mean. It won't.
But
I don't know what they call it, but
it
won't
doesn't
affect
go on the
you,
driving
whatever.
record.
Yeah. That's
But
how they
the
try to
insurance-
get you.
The insurance company still get notified when it goes into the court system. And even if you get it thrown out, they can still jack your insurance up.
So I wonder what he's gonna do if he can't drive. He's gonna get like a horse and buggy.
No, he'll just, hire somebody to drive him around, He says, drop ticket off at courthouse marked, sign not guilty, waiting for court date. So, Bald, make sure you take that video with you so you can show your video evidence.
No, don't do that. Don't say shit about it. I mean, I don't know. I already said it. Your ass is guilty, but the way people do it, it's always plead not guilty. And a lot of times, the DA or whatever will offer you a damn deal. So, and if you are guilty, then usually you take that deal.
So, I got a speeding ticket last month in September. 14 over the posted speed limit. And I went in, I was just going to pay the ticket, I know I'm guilty. I knew I was speeding. I don't think I was doing 14 over, but whatever. And it was like $165 ticket. When I went to the courthouse and I handed
the fine and the court fee. Here they hit you both ways. The court fee is 90 some odd bucks, and the fine, whatever that, you know what I mean. So they'll tell you, it's such and such, and then they don't tell you plus the court fee. So
I went into the courthouse and I was just going to pay the $165, whatever it was. I don't remember. And the clerks was like, she was going over, okay, well, you can plead not guilty and take it to court, or you can, plead no contest and pay the full ticket amount, or you can plead not guilty and take it to trial, however you want to do it. And she goes, or I can offer you, since your driving record looks so good, you can pay $80 and, still plead no contest and pay $80. I'm like, I'll take that option. I'll take the 50% off the ticket.
Yeah, they don't give you that option in New York. At least not me.
Well, that's because you're, the New York outcast. I mean, out. Yeah, I was gonna, you're the outcast. They don't like your ass. They want to try doing whatever they can to make you decide you want to move out of there.
I think it's pretty much everybody they pull over. So, I don't know. It's pretty common for people to get lots of tickets, lots of taxation around here.
Yep. So I just paid the ticket. I was just like, screw it, we're done. So it is what it is.
I got a ticket for a dirty plate light. Like, I was like, busted? The guy's like, nah, it was dirty. Like, what? Like, so, try to get out and wipe it off. You're like, stay in the car, sir. Like, well,
Obstructed.
dude, like, I'm working off a seasonal road. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, it's not like the car hasn't been washed in a year or something. Like, yep. And not a fix-it ticket or nothing like that. So, boom, there you go.
So PNW Wood says, late 90s, got 2 tickets in one day. Do not hand the second cop the first ticket so he can copy off that. He was pissed.
That's messed up.
Bald says, it don't help when Rob gets pulled over. He rolls window down and asks cop, why did you pull me over, cracker?
No. Yeah, that wouldn't go over well. No, I don't do that because not that I've learned, I just know. You deal with the courts, not the officer on the side of the road. And the only thing that's going to come from problems there is shit's going to get worse. So and believe it or not, a lot of the what I call BS tickets I have gotten, I've gotten dropped in court because they were BS. So. But most people just show up and pay the damn little thing they offer you. But, if it's crap, it's crap. Like I'll fight it to the end. And when you're willing to do that, then, they magically can't prove anything, even though 10 minutes earlier it was a slam dunk in the hallway. Just take the deal. But when you go in there, I don't know how I'm going to prove it, Your Honor. I dropped the, case. So I've gotten out of it, like the exhaust, all this stuff several times. So. Air freshener, like even though that is a thing, so not to have an air freshener obstructing your view, things like that. But there's a lot of crap where it's selective. 90% of people don't get pulled over. It's just left there in case they want to pull you over,
or an add-on.
Yeah, or something. Is what it seems like. So I don't know. So whatever. I mean. That's like I was stating earlier, with the lady ran me off the road, and then started going again because we both recovered safely, and now we're going, and then she flips me off and jams the brakes up. Like, it's shit. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart thinking of too many things. but basically, I don't know. There was a similarity there. I'm lost. I'm looking at chocolate here, trying to decide Mr. Goodbar or the what is it? Special dark or what? So bag of miniature.
So, and then there's a lot of those tickets, that they pull you over, and if you start acting like a fool, you start, yelling and trying to argue your case on the side of the court, on the side of the road, and instead of waiting and arguing it in the courtroom, they're like, okay, well, let's see. Yeah, you got an air freshener hanging. We're going to nail you for that. Oh, we see that, you've got a license plate light that's out. Oh, we're going to cite you for that. You know, hey, whatever, you know, and they're just going to sit there and pile on and add on and add on, you know, because, you know, hey, you want to be a dick? We're going to show you who's the real dick in this. And we're just going to jack that ticket from a $10 ticket to a $10,000 ticket.
Well, that reminds me of what I was saying, actually, thinking of that is, you know, when I sat there and told the officer I'm going to fight it politely, you know, that this lady cut me off, this and that, whatever. I wasn't irate. I wasn't swearing at him. I wasn't aggressive, you know, just, you know, you can give me the ticket, but I'm going to fight it. And then, you know, then the guy started reaching for his gun and it got all crazy. But, yeah, that's what I'm stating. Like, yeah, you don't want any kind of aggression on the side of the road. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
Yep.
it's not going to work out well. Even if you are in the right, like, you know, you don't want to lose it by doing something you shouldn't at that point.
I call those trigger words, you know.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That dude was just crazy. Like I said, because, you know, I don't know what his deal was. Like, we're clearly talking about the ticket. You know, I didn't say I was going to throw it on the ground or, you know, swear at him or be, you know, even a jerk, just saying you can give me the ticket, but I'm going to fight this ticket because this is bull crap, you know. And, you know, like I said, then the guys started getting all aggressive. So, and then they switched out partners and the other guy was playing nice guy, which was fine. And then finally the lady admitted it. And the nice guy ended up telling me that she admitted it to the jerk that she cut me off. So that's the only reason I didn't get ticketed for it.
Yeah,
they screwed up.
So there's certain words when you use them in phrases, they don't hear the entire context of what you're saying. Like, you know, if you say fight, when you're talking to officers, there's a lot of times, oh yeah, we're gonna go fisticuffs. Let's do this. You know, they're gonna, you know, get butthurt. Or if you say, you know, gun, oh, you know, there's certain words that I say are like trigger words. You know, it's gonna cause a situation to escalate. Without you intending to have it escalate, you know?
Well, it shouldn't, but when you're on the side of the road, I think you should play it safe, personally.
Yep.
So, yeah, I deal with it with court, you know, and if you're right, I can't say a lot of times, you know, it'll be work out in the end, but, you know, most of the time it tends to work out if you're truly right in the end. So, yeah. But, you know, when it comes to traffic court, I'll state so, at least in my experience. But, you know, you got to be honest, though. If you're guilty, you're guilty. So don't bitch because you got caught speeding when you were speeding. You know, so, yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, sure, you're not guilty, plead it down, whatever, you know, try to pay as little as you can. But, you know, you can't, like, blame the system because you were guilty. So, yeah. I don't know.
When I was in Washington State, I got pulled over and cited for improper lane change, failing to use signal, and I fought the ticket, and I had pictures of how the intersection was and everything, so that I could, you know. And the person who got called before me, he had like, I don't know, it seemed like he had 100 pictures, and he was just irritating the judge with, you know, oh, well, I got the picture of this, I got the picture of this. And so that I was like, oh, crap. Well, I had 15 pictures, and I took it down to like 3. These are the 3 pictures I'm going to show so that I can, you know, limit it.
Point.
Yep.
Yeah,
and everything.
Keep it short and simple. Yeah, if it's got to be drawn out, that's a good sign that it's bullshit.
And so, you know, I was waiting for the judge. I was trying to bait the judge into saying, well, this is an officer of the court, and so we have to take their word. Because I was a licensed and bonded process server, and so I was also an officer of the court. So I was trying to bait the judge into saying this so that I could say, well, I'm an officer of the court also, and I'm here in front of you. The police officer is not here, so you're taking their written word over an officer of the court that's right here in front of you. But the judge, I guess, probably knew that I was a process server, and she was doing everything in her power not to say that. Even no matter what I did to try to get her to say it, she wouldn't say it. So finally, I realized, I have got to do something, or I'm going to lose this case, right? So I was like, Your Honor, I have a witness. I had a passenger in the vehicle. Can I call the witness? And so I called the wife to the stand, and she testified that I did use my signal, and the judge decided to throw the case out. And the wife told me at that point, I am never going to fucking court with you again because I'm not going to get baited into being a witness.
Oh man, you used your wife like that? She wasn't even in the car. She wasn't paying attention. You know that.
She was in the car.
Oh, that's messed up, dude.
She was in the car, but
Yeah. She was doing her nails or something.
and so
Fudge the truth a little bit.
so the judge was like, okay, well, case dismissed.
Dang.
White privilege.
I just think the judge didn't want to hear from a Karen.
Maybe. I thought my court experiences in most cases were interesting. Like I said, because it's you think it's one way, and then you go through it, and you see it's it's a little different. So it's kind of funny, especially how they really do like try to act like you don't. There's no way you're getting out of this, and then they go in and they're like, we don't know how we're gonna prove it, Your Honor. It's like, what? Like, it's pretty crazy seeing some of this, like exhaust tickets, things like that. So it's amazing, and it's really sad that I guess most people, like I said, just pay the ticket. They don't want to deal with the time or whatever. And I think a lot of people really get screwed. Like, you weren't doing 15 over when they tell you that, and you were only doing 4 or 5, but don't admit that because then you're admitting the guilt. But you're not really doing that sometimes, and then you got to go through this and go through all the crap. It's a pain in the ass. Sucks, man. Yeah, and then there's those other people that the real assholes that never get pulled over. It seems like you know what I mean. They're driving the wrong damn way down the road. They're driving on the shoulder. They're college kids hollering and hooting out of the cars, burning out and shit. But you roll through a stop sign on your way to work, and you're getting pulled over by 3 officers. Like, what the hell is going on here? It's crazy. It's crazy.
And one of the reasons why I just decided I was going to pay the ticket was I figured, I was probably speeding. So, whatever. But I also thought, how many times did I get away with, speeding when I was doing like 80 or 90 in a 50-mile-an-hour zone, and I didn't get cited?
Yeah. Well, that's your decision. Yeah, but
so I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, if you're guilty, you're guilty. But, and also, if you're willing to live with that because you've done things in the past and you want to pay for karma, then, good for you.
So, change the topic. David Walcott says, what is your guys' thoughts on 50 Beowulf? Rob, I'll let you go first.
Sounds expensive. I don't know much about it, honestly. So, other than I'm sure it's not cheap. But I don't know. I guess what that's isn't that a straight wall. Believe if it is what I'm thinking, it seems like a lot of people use it for hunting purposes because in some places you have to, or not have to, but you're limited to cartridge. So, but other than that, I don't, I personally don't know much about it, and I could be wrong about what I just said. So if I'm confusing it with something else, but um, don't have any kind of experience to really give an opinion, unfortunately.
So the 50 Beowulf is one of those rounds that a lot of hog hunters like to use because it's on the AR platform. And so you can, have like 30 rounds.
Well,
It's pretty much a souped up 50 AE.
yeah, straight wall though, right?
Yeah, straight wall.
Yeah, if I doubt. I mean, that's got to be one hell of a magazine if you're getting 30 rounds in that.
Well,
Like, I'd think you would fit like in a standard 30 size round mag, maybe
25.
15. So, man, I don't know.
And I think it's off of it.
I mean, they're damn
AR-10.
near similar. I was gonna say they're like a shotgun round almost.
I think it's off the AR-10 platform and not off the AR-15 platform. I could be wrong. I'm not a big AR fan.
It's because he's a spy.
AK. I like the AK. So Bald and Curious says 50 Beowulf magazine is 30 round 223 mag with different follower.
How many rounds do you get in it, Bald?
So if it's off the 223, you're probably definitely talking like 20, 25 rounds out of a 30 round mag. You're probably gonna, because what, your 300 blackout, I think you lose 1 or 2 rounds. Oh, he says and it's 10 rounds.
So
Well, that's probably
even
New York
15.
compliant. So yeah. I know I've told the story before, but it was like funny as hell. I was back when we lived in Washington. I got off work. It was a little early. Instead of like 2 or 3 in the morning, I got off work. It was like 11:30 at night. And I went home. I picked up the wife and I said, "Hey, let's go get a soda at the convenience store and go drive around for a little bit, have some fun." And we're heading to the store to get a soda, and I get pulled over. And the state patrol officer comes up to the window and he says, "Do you know why I'm pulling you over?" And I looked him dead in the eye and I pointed right to the wife. I said, "Because her license is suspended." I'd already been pulled over like 6 times that week because they suspended her license over a parking ticket that she forgot to pay. And so I kept getting pulled over. And so when I got pulled over that night, I said that, and he just started busting a gut and laughing his ass off. And I'm pretty sure he felt like sorry for me, thinking I was probably going to get my ass beat or something by the wife. And he's like, "No, you were speeding. But thanks for the information." He went back to his car, ran my driver's license, ran my insurance, and came back to the car and he said, "Just slow down and have a good day." So if you can get the officer to laugh his ass off or her ass off, you can probably get out of a ticket. I'm just saying. Rob's over there laughing his ass off.
Yeah, funny. You threw me under the bus, is that why?
Yeah, he does that all the time. This is like the fourth time I heard this story. Like he likes like spelling you out or something.
Oh, that happened one time. It was just funny that it, and yeah, I got out of the speeding ticket. So I see we got Gizzard Gary out there, Mike White's out there. Welcome, guys. I got pulled over one time because my music was too loud in my car. So I was getting a noise ordinance violation. And the police officer saw my shirt and asked me to step out of the car so he could read it. And the shirt was 8 things you should never say to a cop. And one of them was, will you hold my beer while I get my license? Or you're not going to check the trunk, are you? And the last one was bad cop, no donut.
How'd that go over for you?
He thought it was kind of funny and asked me where I got the shirt. And so I told him where I got the shirt. And
Mitch?
I got it up at a store up in Leavenworth. It was called Black Swan.
You're still snitching.
Hell no. Where you say you bought a t-shirt, that's not snitching.
Dude, you're like an informant for the cops now. You know that, right? So you're going to be in all the paperwork and shit when they go shoot this guy's dog and take over his t-shirt shop because
Probably.
you gave him information. And little do you know, you were paid because you didn't receive a ticket. So you're dirty, bro.
The shop's still there to this day. And
Yeah, but the original owner got suicided with his hands tied and 2 holes in the back of his head.
okay, so the shop was still there the last time we were in the state of Washington, which was a few years ago. And it was still the same owners when we were, everyone knows that shop has like funny.
Except now the guy's missing 2 fingers, huh?
Maybe a couple toes. You don't want it to be obvious. Just saying.
Yeah, no, I avoid trying to get pulled over, so it's never never a great experience. Not something I tried to do. Damn sure don't plan on making videos of driving around trying to get pulled over and shit like that. So I value my freedom, my life, and
Yep.
you never know. It's 50-50. Sometimes they're cool, sometimes they're dicks. It's just, not worth the problems.
So, according to Burnaby, Bear Creek has the complete upper at a reasonable price, but the ammo is where you will be crying. Yep. A lot of those, boutique rounds, 8.6 blackout, or, something like that, 300 blackout, you're going to end up paying way more than you would for just having a 7.62 by 39 AK.
Oh, the hell with the AK.
I know MCK was in here earlier talking about his bastardized AR, and I just ignored it.
See, you're bastardized ARist is what's going on here. So there's nothing wrong with that, man. If it runs, runs. So I don't know.
I mean,
I think they kind of
go-
look cool personally, but I know that probably offends you, but I don't care. You're a Glock guy. Yeah, you're not even American, so I don't know.
hey, the Glock is made in Smyrna, Georgia. That's America, and it doesn't have a Hillary hole.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Travis T is out there saying hello to everyone. I know, what is it, next week or the week after is Wanamaker down in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So David Walcott says you should always have emergency donuts just in case you get pulled over. I try not to get pulled over, and I average probably 3 to 5 years in between getting pulled over. So if I kept an emergency donut on hand, by the time I got pulled over, that donut would be just nasty. What was that, Rob?
It'd be attempted murder.
Oh yeah, no.
Are you trying to kill me? Poison me? or a bribe. So,
yep. Oh no, they probably try nailing you for bribing. Yeah,
the legal way to do it is well, it's known like drunks will keep their ID and shit in the visor, all this stuff. There's all these little tricks that people do to try to avoid problems when they get pulled over and crap. And those little tricks like are red flags, the officers in a sense. So, but what I was told to do, the legal way to bribe an officer is say, I bet you're not going to give me a ticket, and hand over some cash with your ID. And then therefore, legally, it's a bet. It's not a bribe. So if they do try to charge you, you can get out of it in court. But you might get lucky, and they might say, well, today's your lucky day. You're right, and hand you your ID back and walk away. Now, yeah, morally, is it a bribe? Oh, you bet your ass. But legally, there's a little loophole there. So if you want to get crazy, give it a try. But $50 10 years ago is like $300 a day. So, keep that in mind.
Yeah. So, David Walcott says, New York Outcast. Are you in New York City or the other part of New York? Yeah, he's definitely not in the city. Even though I call him a Yorker, he's not truly a Yorker because he's not a cityer. But
I avoid the city like the plague nowadays. So, place is a damn death trap.
But
money just to get in there is ridiculous. Paying to get across the bridges or the tunnels, or even if you want to park over in Hoboken, take the train in. I mean, Jesus, they want an arm and leg just to get in there for you to get robbed and ripped off. So I avoid the city as much as I can now. Spent time there, and I used to take people like for tours and stuff. Everybody, I want to see New York or whatever. But now I avoid it. So thankfully, I don't live in the city. So,
I avoid the entire state.
Well, the state's not horrible if you keep your doors locked and just keep driving.
No, I don't even want to be in a plane that like touches down and then takes off in New York. You know, I don't even care if it just does a touch and go. I don't want to be in that plane.
A lot of people are like that. I don't know. The state itself is actually like decent, you know, totally different than the city. The people, the culture, everything. So, but you know, doesn't really matter politically. The numbers always take things. So, you know, saying you're like from New York City in certain places is a really bad thing. You know, the locals don't want you there. They expect you to be a drug dealer, trouble, something bad. You know, so like it's almost a bad word around here, especially like landlords. If you move from the city, they don't want to rent to your ass. So because it's just statistically, it's all the trouble, you know. And honestly, welfare will pay people to move out here, like, you know, all across the state and stuff. Like same thing with the immigrants. So their shit posted up in the subway systems, all this stuff. Like they try to spread everybody out throughout the state, and you know, a lot of times it's the troubled people that end up showing up. So, like, straight up tell you they're a drug dealer, that don't worry about the money, they get their monies. You know what I mean? And shit. So great. So now my doors are gonna get kicked in. There's gonna be police interference. The place is gonna get robbed. Like, no, I don't want to rent to you. You know, type stuff. Like, you know, so, yeah, it's crazy. So. But as far as like the land, stuff like that, some of the people, great, but the politics, taxes, and some of the other people, it sucks.
Travis T says everything north of Virginia is dead to him. Burnaby Sanchez says New York is always in a state of emergency. And then Burnaby says Rob and Bald say everything is just fine.
Well, we'll get swatted if we don't. It's New York.
Hell yeah. You can't say anything mean against the Fuhrer. You can't even acknowledge that you have a Fuhrer, or otherwise you're going to get in trouble. So, wow, I didn't even think we were going to last a fucking hour. Just you and I being on here. Now it's 3 hours later and we're still here.
Yep, the bill keeps adding up.
Still boring the shit out of
Wow, we love you too, woman. Did you hear her, Rob?
No.
She said that we're still boring the shit out of everyone. It's kind of the love we get around here. So, 223DMR says the squash was damn good. And David Walcott says, what is upstate New York? Anything north of Yorkville.
Yeah, it's kind of touchy. That's why I like to say I'm like more central. I don't know. I guess. I don't know. I guess nobody wants to claim they're anything to do with New York City. So basically, once you leave the city, everything's upstate. Basically, so it's kind of weird. So, it could be like 10 miles, but it's upstate. I'm not in the city. Like, like it's like a bad word around here. Like people get pissed. Like, so So yeah,
Balding Curious says it's everything north of Westchester County. So you're welcome there, 223DMR, for filling in the blank.
you know it's bad when nobody wants to claim they're from the city, yeah, or whatever. It's just a dirty word. Pretty sad.
Yeah, the wife and I were at the LGS a couple days ago when she was picking up her Glock, and we were talking. And we were making fun of Chicago and New York, saying how close they are to the same city. So I have a Reese's peanut butter cup cookie. It's got chunks of Reese's Pieces and peanuts in it. And my wife says it's really good.
Got the old time since 1871
Ginger snaps.
snaps. Yep.
And I
Hey,
got
ginger-
some rifle.
Ginger snaps are delicious.
Yeah, I think they're good now and then.
Yeah. You can't eat them all the time, but
No,
Yep.
it's once in a
Every once
while.
yeah, every once in a while, ginger snaps and a glass of milk. Yep. $223DMR says his wife went to Bass Pro and bought a bunch of fudge.
Fudge?
Fudge.
I wouldn't think they sold that at Bass Pro.
Oh, Bass Pro and Cabela's, they sell all kinds of stuff. I mean, stuff you wouldn't even think that they would sell. They still sell it.
Strange. I
Like,
guess
didn't.
not. I don't know. We don't have one, so I don't shop at those stores. But so I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's a little shocking.
The one time I was at a Bass Pro or Cabela's, was when I went up and hung out with Foss, and we met at, I don't remember if it was Bass Pro or if it was Cabela's. It was one of those stores.
Oh, that time you got your wife sick?
Yeah, the
I
time
remember that.
the time I gave the wife COVID.
Locked her in the car and shit.
Yep. And
You shot an M&P and smiled like you got your first kiss.
it was a 380. You can't even take any kind of credit for that.
Hey, that smile said it all, buddy. You can lie all you want. That smile.
Oh, we were laughing. We were laughing our ass off. I wish the fucking cameras wouldn't have been malfunctioning, because you would have heard how much shit we were talking about you. I mean,
Mm-hmm. It's starting to sound like Pelosi's house with the cameras not working.
yes. So Cabela's and Bass Pro and no, fuck Dick's.
Yeah. They sure do live up to their name.
Sportsman's Warehouse, Big Five, those are all under the same umbrella. They're all now owned, because Sportsman's Warehouse and Big Five, Sportsman's owned Big Fives, and then they were just bought out a year or two ago by the parent company of Cabela's and Bass Pro. So yeah, all those are under the same umbrella now. 223 DMR says I get a 50% discount on anything Redhead or Bass Pro Natural Reflections, anything Bass Pro brand. So, yes, it is kind of on a monopoly.
50% is a good discount.
Fuck yeah. That's like an employee discount on steroids.
Well, do I get the family discount too then, buddy?
Hell, you have him go and get it for you, and you give him a couple extra dollars over what he paid. Make it worth his time. He gets 50. If he gets 50% off, as long as you're getting like 35% off, you're still scoring.
Whoa, now you're talking about breaking the law. I'm just talking about buddies helping buddies out,
It's not breaking the law. It's not like you're saying, hey, go purchase me a firearm and then I'll give you, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, but if he uses his discount and makes money from using it, that's going to be a problem towards the company. So, but if he uses it for his long lost outcast family member, then that's legitimate.
And David Walcott says, is coupons still a thing? Yes, there are still coupons out there. Some companies are now going like electronic digital coupons. So if you have their app or whatever, you can get different discounts. So 223 DMR says we only get a 7% discount on firearms and ammo.
Well, that's shit. 7%. Jeez.
It's better than no discount.
Yeah, I mean, 10%, 15%, something. I mean, that's, it's something, but it's barely anything. You know what I mean? What is that? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, if you live in a free state, you don't have to pay taxes.
Man, still 7%. That's like getting a 7% raise or something. Or, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Just, I don't know. Like, keep your damn quarter or whatever, Like, I don't know. That doesn't seem like much. But just my opinion. I don't know.
Yep. So, well, Rob, you have anything you want to plug before we get the hell out of here?
Just the normal. Don't get brainwashed by the Glock guy. Eat a salad. Use cash. R&L displays.
So,
and toilet paper should always be over, not under.
Isn't that kind of hypocritical to say always use cash, but then go to my website and spend credit?
Maybe, but you didn't have to point it out.
But hey, R&L Displays does have some great stands. I have one or two of them, and if you use G23, you get 15% off. Or Gizzard Gary, Chris from the 740, Travis P11, any of those, you still get 15% off, so you can save yourself a couple dollars. David Walcott says Taurus is Brazilian. Some Tauruses are from Brazil, and other Tauruses are made here in the United States. So it really depends on what you're getting. So, just like some Glocks are Austrian and some Glocks are made in Smyrna, Georgia. So, a lot of companies are doing that. You know, they have FN USA. You know, which there's some that are made here in the United States and some that are made overseas. A lot of brands are doing that to get past the import export. So again, I think Foss is doing his overnight show tonight. I think it's the 5th, maybe the 5th and 6th amendments of the United States Constitution. So if you don't catch it live, you can always catch it in replay. And Gizzard Gary's doing a live stream tomorrow morning. And if you're around, you can watch Georgia Trapping and Fishing at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 Eastern on Sunday. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And have a great evening, guys.